Chapter 1133. Everyone looked at Lu Ming and all kinds of thoughts flashed across their minds. However, most of them were amazed by Lu Ming's strength. "Brother Lu, you've kept us in the dark." Outside the platform, Sandalwood Fairy spoke, as if she was rebuking him. "I'm sorry, Fairy. Lu Ming had to do it." Lu Ming cupped his fists and said. Since he had already exposed himself, he would admit it. It seems that this is a great era. Even the Eastern Wilderness has someone like Lu Ming. Yeah, this is a golden age. We can't underestimate any region. There might be powerful elites everywhere. Someone exclaimed. Lu Ming's battle achievements were too dazzling. Previously, Lu Shaoqing's name had already shaken the central continent. Recently, he had even defeated Lu Yusen, the Arch, Lion Du, the Cerberus, and the Underworld Child consecutively. 3 of them were supreme geniuses. His battle achievements were too glorious. Lu Ming, Lu Ming, Lu Ming from the Eastern Wilderness. He's from the Eastern Wilderness. His powerful devouring power should be the talent of the 9 dragons. Sanguinarum stared at Lu Ming. No one knew what he was thinking. Similarly, many elites of the Tianwu sword sect also had murderous intent in their eyes. However, no one dared to do so on such an occasion. Boom! Boom! At this moment, the violent roars on the platform finally pulled everyone back from their thoughts. Everyone shifted their gazes away from Lu Ming. The battle between Heartless Monk and Yang Patian had also reached its final stage. Yang Patian was no match for Heartless Monk. After 100 moves, he was defeated by Heartless Monk and blasted out of the platform. At this point, the top 3 were born. They were Long Chen, Lu Ming, and Heartless Monk. Many people were looking forward to it. Now, the 3 of them were all terrifyingly strong and unfathomable. Needless to say, Long Chen had always been the most powerful elite. He was the first to become a spirit god and was invincible among his peers. Just now, he had defeated Tuobashir with 1 punch, which shocked everyone. Heartless Monk, the Western Desert's eccentric holy monk, was extremely strong and had defeated Yang Patian. He kept smiling and looked harmless, making people feel that he was unfathomable. Lu Ming could be considered the strongest dark horse this time. First, he had transformed into Lu Shaoqing, then he had transformed into the commander of the law enforcement army. He had slaughtered his way here, defeating numerous experts and even a prodigy like the Underworld Child. His strength was unfathomable. Everyone was looking forward to the clash between the 3. Everyone was looking forward to seeing if Lu Ming or the unscrupulous monk could force out Long Chen's true strength. That was because until now, no one knew how strong Long Chen was. My hair. Monk Wuliang chanted the name of Buddha and looked at Lu Ming. Huh, benefactor, so your name is Lu Ming. Nice to meet you. Monk, we've met several times. Lu Ming smiled. Huh, that's right. Benefactor Lu's combat strength is profound and admirable. I didn't expect you to defeat the Underworld Child. I fought with the Underworld Child many times in the past, but I couldn't defeat him. Since you defeated him, I'm no match for you. I admit defeat. Monk Wuliang chuckled, then turned around and stepped off the platform. Monk Wuliang admitted defeat. Now, only Lu Ming and Long Chen were left. The 9 Dragons bloodline. Interesting. I'd like to see the power of the 9 Dragons bloodline. Long Chen, who had been silent all this time, finally spoke. He looked at Lu Ming with anticipation in his eyes. This kind of anticipation was like a person who had been invincible for too long and had no opponents. Now that he suddenly saw an opponent, he revealed that kind of anticipation. Yes, Long Chen had been invincible for too long. He had been invincible among the younger generation. He needed an opponent and longed for one. Without a doubt, in his heart, Lu Ming could become his opponent. This was not arrogance, but his true thoughts. I'd like to fight with you, but unfortunately, I'm not interested in the first place. After saying that, Lu Ming moved and left the platform. Lu Ming's target was the second or third place. He didn't want to take the first place at all. The first place was to marry Xia Nianlin. Lu Ming only wanted the second or third place to make the sacred emperor agree to one of his conditions. Lu Ming actually admitted defeat. What a pity. It's really a pity. Many people sighed. They thought that they would be able to see a peak battle, but the result was unexpected. First, Monk Wuliang admitted defeat. Then, Lu Ming also admitted defeat directly. In this way, this competition ended just like that. Alright, this competition ends here. Long Chen has taken the first place and will be engaged to my daughter, Xia Nianlin, soon. Xia Qitian stood up and announced. Beside Xia Qitian, Xia Nianlin smiled happily. On the platform, Long Chen looked at Xia Nianlin with a smile on his face. Not many people knew that Long Chen and Xia Nianlin had feelings for each other and had been secretly dating for a long time. This competition was just a formality. Xia Nianlin and Xia Qitian knew that Long Chen would take the first place without any suspense. It was impossible for anyone to defeat Long Chen. Xia Qitian could also take this opportunity to win over many overlord forces and establish good relations with them. It was killing many birds with one stone. From now on, the Heavenly Sun Palace and the Imperial Xia family will be married. The Imperial family will be even more powerful. Someone sighed secretly. Long Chen came from the Heavenly Sun Palace, an extremely powerful overlord force. Long Chen and Xia Nianlin's marriage meant that the two forces would be strong in the future. In this generation of the imperial family, there are many geniuses. Xia Nianjuan, Xia Nianlin, and Xia Yan are all top geniuses. Is the imperial family going to return to glory? The imperial family's luck is indeed strong. In the future, with the marriage with the Heavenly Sun Palace, there is a possibility that the two strongest geniuses will rise. However, other forces may not let them rise as they wish. In the dark, some people whispered to each other. The marriage between the imperial family and the Heavenly Sun Palace had far-reaching effects. And Lu Ming, heartless monk. Xia Qitian looked at Lu Ming and heartless monk. The two of them flew onto the platform and bowed to Xia Qitian. I agree. For the second and third place, I can promise you one thing. What do you want to ask for? Lu Ming, you go first. Xia Qitian looked at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. It was finally time. He had been waiting for this moment. The Wang family patriarch, Jiang family patriarch, Di Shen, and the others were also nervous. If Lu Ming asked for the sacred emperor to protect him against De, it would be troublesome. De could do nothing against the ancient Saint dynasty. Sacred emperor, Lu Ming has no other request. I only ask for one thing, and that is to set Nianqing free. Lu Ming cupped his fists and said. Xia Qitian frowned. The others were also stunned. Chapter 1134. No one had expected Lu Ming's request to set someone free. Nianqing? Who is that? Many people were curious. This name is very similar to the two princesses. I heard that the royal family has a little princess whose bloodline is different from the royal family. Could it be that Lu Ming is talking about this little princess? Someone guessed. In the end, many people sighed. Lu Ming's request was not worth it. It was a waste of a great opportunity. However, Lu Ming's gaze was firm. In his heart, this was the most important thing. The Wang family head, Jiang family head, the arch-god, and the others heaved a sigh of relief. They were really afraid that Lu Ming would ask Xia Qitian to protect him. How foolish. The Wang family head laughed in his heart. Lu Ming, don't be delusional. Xie Nianqing is different. You want to set her free? What a joke. Also, back in Jiulong City in the eastern wilderness, you were the one who repeatedly obstructed us and injured the royal family's people. How dare you say such words today? How audacious. Xie Zhen got up and looked at Lu Ming coldly, berating him loudly. What? How dare you injure the royal family's people? Lu Ming, you sneaked into the enforcer troop and purposely destroyed the relationship between the royal family and the other overlords. What are your intentions? A middle-aged man stood up and said coldly. Lu Ming recognized that this man was the royal uncle, Xie Qiyu, who had appeared when Lu Ming was confronting the Sky Martial Sword Sect's elders at the Enforcer Hall. Because of Lu Ming, their relationship with the Sky Martial Sword Sect had deteriorated, forcing Xie Qiyu to appear. He was already unhappy with Lu Ming, so he naturally came out to scold him. She is indeed the little princess of the royal family. That weirdo. Xie Zhen's words made everyone's heart skip a beat. But how did Lu Ming get to know the little princess? It seemed that in the eastern wasteland, the imperial family had suffered losses at the hands of Lu Ming. This Lu Ming was really a monster. Lu Ming glanced coldly at Xie Zhen and Xie Qiyu before ignoring them. He faced the Saint Emperor and said, Saint Emperor, you said that as long as I get into the top 3, I can make a request of you. My request is to set Nianqing free. I can give up everything else, including entering the Saint Emperor Ancient Palace. Lu Ming's posture was ramrod straight. He was neither servile nor overbearing, and his gaze was firm. Xie Qitian frowned even more. His face turned cold as he said, Lu Ming, this won't do. You'd better change your condition. There was no room for doubt in his tone. Xie Qitian's meaning was very clear. It was impossible for him to do that. However, Lu Ming would not give up just like that. Holy Emperor, why not? Is it because Nianqing's bloodline is different from the rest of the imperial family? Could it be that only those with pure and holy blood were from the Xie clan? Those who lean towards the dark bloodline are not from the Xie clan. Please forgive me for my humble opinion. This way of thinking is too pedantic. Lu Ming's voice resounded throughout the area, silencing everyone. Almost everyone looked at Lu Ming in shock. How dare Lu Ming talk to the Saint Emperor like that? Even a fool could tell that Lu Ming was implying that the Saint Emperor was pedantic. He was really audacious. Even other emperors did not dare to speak to Xie Qitian in this manner. Lu Ming's words were simply too shocking. How dare you? Lu Ming, you lowly ant. How dare you talk to my father like that? You're courting death. Xie Zhen roared. You deserve to die and your entire family should be exterminated. Xie Qiyu shouted coldly. Although his words were short, they were filled with killing intent. Xie Qitian did not speak. He was still frowning slightly. No one knew what he was thinking. Lu Ming continued to ignore Xie Zhen and Xie Qiyu. He did not even look at them as he continued to face Xie Qitian. Bloodline is just a tool for martial artists. It depends on how you use it. If you use it well, it's good. If you don't use it well, it's not good. Why do we have to look at the attribute? The key is the person using it. Lu Ming's voice was loud and clear. He was neither servile nor overbearing. He was not afraid at all as he argued. Ridiculous. Xie Nianqing has a different bloodline. That's a rebel bloodline. If she was set free, she would have turned against the imperial family. Xie Zhen continued to berate. Ridiculous. What is a rebel bloodline? Back then, the chaotic Sky Emperor was forced out. If the imperial family treated him equally, without humiliation or oppression, how could he betray us? Lu Ming laughed. As soon as he said this, everyone was shocked. Boom! 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 Suddenly, a terrifying aura erupted from the imperial family. Cold killing intent shrouded Lu Ming. How dare you? You're courting death. You deserve to die. You've committed a heinous crime. Roars rang out as powerful existences were enraged. Terrifying auras filled the air as if the world was about to be destroyed. Endless pressure pressed down on Lu Ming. Among them, there were quite a number of powerful figures at the supreme level. Boom! Lu Ming used all his strength to resist, but he was still suppressed by the pressure. His body shook violently and he quickly retreated. A mouthful of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. The chaotic Sky Emperor was a taboo of the imperial family. Lu Ming dared to mention it on such an occasion. This was a sore spot for the imperial family. Sacred Emperor, there is an ancient saying that a monarch is not joking. Moreover, you're the Sacred Emperor. Do you want to go back on your words? Lu Ming shouted. Since he had come this far, there was no way out. Lu Ming had nothing to fear. He could only move forward bravely. When I said that I would agree to a condition, I was referring to something that I could do. Xiaofan said. What's so difficult about my condition? Moreover, Nianqing is your daughter, your biological daughter. Did you give birth to her just to lock her up for life? Lu Ming shouted. The true essence in his body circulated crazily. The five-colored intent enveloped his body to resist the pressure from the outside. How dare you? Men, kill this man! Xiaofan shouted. His killing intent was boundless and his face was ferocious. Back then, when he was in Nine Dragon City, he went there as the prince of the ancient sage dynasty. He should have been high and mighty and everyone would surround him. However, in the end, Lu Ming defeated him in front of everyone and made him lose face. He had always hated Lu Ming. Even after so long, he hadn't forgotten about it. Now that he had such an opportunity, he naturally wanted to cut Lu Ming into pieces. Kill! Two guards in iron armor shouted. Terrifying auras erupted and they were about to step out and kill Lu Ming. Everyone sighed. They thought that Lu Ming was going to die today. It was a pity that such a genius would die. Enough. At this moment, Xiaofan said faintly. He waved his hand gently and the two guards immediately stopped. The other members of the imperial family also restrained their auras. Lu Ming felt his body relax and he let out a long breath. Lu Ming, I'm the emperor and I'm a man of my word. However, your condition is an important matter for the royal family. I can't agree to it so easily. How about this? Nianqing is now in the Nine Underworlds demon realm, fighting for the royal family and hunting the demon Sha clan. If you're willing to enter the Nine Underworlds demon realm and hunt the demon Sha clan, and when you've killed enough demon Sha clan members and accumulated enough merits for the royal family, I'll let you leave together. Xiaofan said after pondering for a while. Chapter 1135. Sacred Emperor, are you serious? Lu Ming stared at Xiaofan. I'm a man of my word. Everyone who enters the abyss of demons realm and kills the demon Sha clan will get points. As long as you can get 10,000 points, I promise to let the two of you go and never interfere with Nianqing's affairs again. Xiaofan said. Okay, I promise. Lu Ming said. In front of so many emperors and people, Lu Ming believed that Xiaofan would not go back on his word. Lu Ming also knew that it would not be easy to kill the demon Sha clan in the abyss of demons realm, but there was still hope. Moreover, his identity had been exposed, and De would know soon. In the abyss of demons realm, not only could he find Nianqing, but he could also avoid De temporarily. For Lu Ming, it was killing two birds with one stone. At this time, Xia Zhen, Xia Qiyu, and the others' eyes flickered, but they did not say anything. No one knew what they were thinking. Okay, it's settled. When the banquet is over, I'll ask someone to take you to the abyss of demons' realm. Xia Qitian said. Then, Xia Qitian asked Heartless Monk about his conditions. Heartless Monk was smart and said not to mention it for the time being. Okay, 3 days later, the top 10 can enter the Sacred Emperor Ancient Palace to comprehend. Xia Qitian announced. Then, the banquet continued. The banquet lasted for half a day before it ended. The overlords began to leave one by one. The Wang family patriarch, Jiang family patriarch, Di Shen, and the others also left in a hurry. They had to rush back to the eastern wilderness to report to Di about Lu Ming. It was too strange. Lu Ming was still in the Talisman Puppet sect, so why did he suddenly appear in the central continent and enter the abyss of demons' realm? They had to let Di know as soon as possible. Soon, the crowd dispersed. Lu Ming, come with us. 2 guards in iron armor came to Lu Ming and said with a cold expression. Lu Ming swept his gaze across the 2 of them and discovered that he could not see through their cultivation level. It was unfathomable. To the abyss of demons' realm? Lu Ming said. That's right. The Sacred Emperor ordered us to bring you to the 9 Underworlds Devil Domain. The entrance to the 9 Underworlds Devil Domain is to the north of the Holy City. One of the armored guards said. Please. Lu Ming nodded. The 2 armored guards took the lead, and Lu Ming followed behind them, heading north of the Holy City. Not long after, they arrived at the north side of the Saint City. Then, they passed through layers upon layers of barriers and arrived before a giant door made of light. Along the way, Lu Ming calculated that they had passed through a total of 18 checkpoints. Each checkpoint had an extremely powerful formation and was guarded by a powerful expert. From this, it could be seen that the royal family placed great importance on this place. This is the entrance to the demon realm of the 9 underworlds. Take this jade pendant. As long as you kill a member of the demon temple in the demon realm of the 9 underworlds, the jade pendant will sense it and you will get the corresponding points. But in the depths of his eyes, there was a trace of a sneer. Thank you. Lu Ming took the jade token and put it away. Okay, let's go in. One of the guards said. Lu Ming nodded, then turned around and stepped into the light door, disappearing from sight. He wants to get 10,000 points in the demon realm of the 9 underworlds? What a fool's dream. He'll stay there for the rest of his life. The Holy Emperor's move is brilliant. The 2 guards sneered, then turned around and strode away. At this moment, Xia Zhen and Xia Qiyu were sitting opposite each other in a hall in the royal palace. Brother, your move is brilliant. Not only did you shut Lu Ming's mouth, but you also fulfilled your promise. I'm really impressed. Xia Qiyu took a sip of spiritual tea and smiled faintly. It's almost impossible to get 10,000 points by killing a member of the demon temple in the demon realm of the 9 underworlds. But I still feel uneasy. Xia Zhen frowned and said, Xian Yanqing, that bitch, is too talented. He's not weaker than the overlord level Heaven's Pride. Moreover, he awakened a dark bloodline. He's like a fish in water in the demon realm of the 9 underworlds. He can still cultivate and improve his cultivation. As for Lu Ming, he is even more shocking. More than 3 years ago, he was only at the Spirit Sea realm and his cultivation level was lower than mine. However, in just slightly more than 3 years, his cultivation level has soared to the 3rd level of the Spirit God realm. His combat ability is even more shocking. He has defeated many giants and supreme talents consecutively. In my opinion, apart from Long Chen, no one can suppress him. I can't rest easy as long as such a person is alive. You want to kill him in the demon realm of the 9 underworlds? Xia Tianyu said. Yes, but although Lu Ming's cultivation is only at the 3rd level spirit god realm, his battle strength is too terrifying. I'm afraid that ordinary 6th level spirit god realm experts are no match for him. To kill him, we'll have to send 7th level spirit god realm experts or even stronger existences. But with my authority, I can't mobilize such powerful existences, so I need Uncle's help. Xiaofan said. Yes, you're right. Lu Ming can't be left alive. Moreover, we'll take this opportunity to kill that freak Xia Nianqing as well. Xia Qiu's face revealed a cold smile. Thank you, Uncle. Xiaofan was overjoyed and thanked him. After Lu Ming stepped into the light door, he stepped out of another light door in the next moment. Where is this? Lu Ming glanced around and found that he had arrived at another place. This place seemed to be a city. Above the city, there was a huge light screen that enveloped the entire city, and the scene outside the light screen couldn't be seen clearly. Is this the demon realm of the 9 underworlds? Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Another person has come. A voice came from the side, and Lu Ming saw a few burly men in armor. Brothers, is this the demon realm of the 9 underworlds? Lu Ming stepped forward and asked. Yes, this is the demon realm of the 9 underworlds. We're the martial artists of the imperial family, and we're responsible for guarding this city to prevent the Wuxia clan from attacking the exit. Why are you here? One of the burly men explained and then asked. I'm here to kill the Wuxia clan and earn points. Lu Ming said, but he didn't tell the truth. Another exile. Hearing Lu Ming's words, the burly men's faces turned cold, and they sneered. Exile? Lu Ming frowned. Alright, you'll stay in this city for the night. The moon is in the sky now, and the demon qi is at its thickest. In order to prevent the demon qi from seeping in, the city is now closed and won't be opened. You can leave the city tomorrow. One of the burly men in armor waved his hand casually. Lu Ming nodded and didn't ask any more questions. He strode out of the place. Soon, Lu Ming came to a street and found that there were quite a lot of people here. However, each of them had a strong aura, and they were all experts. With a sweep of his spiritual sense, he found that there were many existences in the spiritual god realm. These people were all sent by the imperial family to guard this place. Lu Ming walked around and asked around. As expected, he couldn't leave the city now and had to wait until the next day. Lu Ming found a quiet place, sat cross-legged, and waited quietly. Chapter 1136. As soon as the 4 old men appeared, they exuded a terrifying aura, causing the expressions of the burly men to change drastically. Gentlemen, where did you come from? One of the burly men asked. One of the old men waved his hand, and a token appeared in his hand. When the burly men saw the token, they immediately straightened their bodies and showed respect on their faces. So it's you, sirs. May I know what brings you here? One of the burly men asked cautiously. Did a young man come in earlier? The old man with the token asked. Are you talking about that exiled person? He came in about an hour ago. He should be somewhere in the city now. The burly man in the armor replied respectfully. Somewhere in the city. The 4 old men nodded and left. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, it was the 2nd day. Lu Ming flew toward the city wall. Those who want to leave the city, hurry up. At the city gate, a burly man in armor shouted. At this time, the city gate had opened, and only one person could pass through at a time. From the opening, black mist filled the air. Lu Ming's body flashed, and he rushed out of the opening. Is this the 9 underworlds demon realm? After rushing out of the city, the light suddenly dimmed. The light between heaven and earth was very dim, and there was a black mist floating between heaven and earth. The entire land was dark. Looking up, there was a sun in the sky, but the sun was also dark, and it looked very depressing. This place is filled with dense demon qi, but there is no spiritual qi of heaven and earth. Lu Ming sensed that there was no spiritual qi of heaven and earth in this place, and it was filled with dense demon qi. For ordinary warriors, it would be very difficult to cultivate here. Because there was no spiritual qi of heaven and earth, they could only absorb demon qi and refine it. However, the difficulty of refining demon qi was dozens or hundreds of times more difficult than refining spiritual qi of heaven and earth. But for Lu Ming, it did not matter. He had the 9-dragon bloodline and could devour and refine everything. He could also quickly refine demon qi. Little Qing, where are you? Lu Ming looked into the distance, and his body moved, turning into a beam of light and rushing forward. Not long after Lu Ming disappeared, 4 old men rushed out of the city behind him. Their expressions changed, and they chased after Lu Ming. Lu Ming went forward, looking at the 9 underworlds demon realm. The 9 underworlds devil realm was vast and boundless, with mountains, rivers, and rivers. It was said that it was an extremely large mid-sized plane that had automatically evolved into a boundless world. There were also countless creatures living here, all types of plants, too many to count. Moreover, most of the plants were black, or dark red, and so on. There were also powerful demonic beasts here. However, these demonic beasts were born by absorbing demonic qi. They were called demonic beasts. Their intelligence was on the lower side, but they were very strong. Of course, the ruler of the 9 underworlds demon realm was the Masha clan. It was said that the Masha clan used to be a big clan in the divine wilderness continent in ancient times, and they occupied a large territory. Later, they were defeated by the human race, and fled to the 9 underworlds demon realm. But they were still very strong, and they often attacked the ancient Saint Dynasty Xia family. Therefore, the imperial family sent a large army to guard the entrance. Moreover, the Masha clan was very cunning, and they could fly in the 9 underworlds demon realm. It was difficult to kill them. Although the imperial family Xia family would send experts to kill them every once in a while, it was impossible to kill all of them, and they were a big problem for the imperial family. There was also a rumor that the reason why Xiaofan, the Emperor of Chaos, could start a rebellion and hurt the imperial family Xia family was because of the help of the Masha clan. Whoosh! Suddenly, a beam of black light shot out from a mountain peak below. It was moving at an alarming speed, aiming for Lu Ming. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He stretched out 2 fingers and accurately flicked the black light away. This is the Masha clan? Lu Ming looked at the creature that had attacked him. It was a short humanoid creature that was 2 heads shorter than Lu Ming. This creature was covered in black hair, and there was a pair of fleshy wings on its back. On its wings, there were sharp black bone spikes. The bone spikes that had stabbed at him just now were the same kind of bone spikes. Moreover, this creature had a mouth full of fangs, and its appearance was incomparably hideous. It was like the legendary Azura. This was the Masha clan. Human, kill! The Masha clan roared. In his hand, there was a black bone spike. With a flap of his fleshy wings, he rushed towards Lu Ming at an extremely fast speed. The bone spike in his hand was like a sharp sword, stabbing towards Lu Ming. This Masha clan had the battle power of a human martial arts practitioner at the 5th level of spirit embryo realm. Lu Ming waved his hand, and a spear light appeared. With a flash, it flew out like a bolt of lightning, killing this Masha clan member. Then, a jade token appeared in Lu Ming's hand. However, there was no reaction from the jade token. Didn't they say that after killing the Masha clan member, the jade token would give the corresponding points? Why is there no reaction? Lu Ming frowned slightly. Then, he flew closer to the corpse of the Masha clan member, but there was still no reaction. There were no points at all. What's going on? Lu Ming's frown deepened. Not good, Lu Ming, there are a few powerful beings flying towards us at an extremely fast speed. They are coming from the direction of the city that you came from just now. Dandan, who had just arrived at the 9 underworlds devil realm, suddenly cried out. How many powerful beings are there? Could they be here to kill the Masha clan as well? Lu Ming muttered as he looked in that direction. Xiao. 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 4 rainbow lights streaked across the sky and flew towards them at an extremely fast speed, bringing with them a rolling sound of explosions. When they saw Lu Ming, their eyes lit up, and cold murderous intent spread out. There's murderous intent. They are here to kill me. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat, and he retreated without hesitation. Lu Ming, die. An old man in a black robe roared. His voice shook the heavens. Behind him, a silver combat sword was unsheathed. A ray of silver sword gleam lit up the dark Joyo demon realm, splitting the entire sky. The terrifying sword aura instantly crossed a distance of hundreds of miles and slashed toward Lu Ming. Not good, it's the 8th level spirit god realm. Lu Ming's heart trembled. The power of the sword was too terrifying, as if it could destroy everything. Moreover, it was so fast that Lu Ming didn't have time to perform the bloodline fusion. He could only unleash the power of the 9 dragons' bloodline and merge it with his body. At the same time, his glabella lit up, and the small red pagoda appeared. It enlarged rapidly and blocked in front of Lu Ming. Clang! The silver sword light slashed the red pagoda, and the terrifying power sent it flying, crashing into Lu Ming. Lu Ming and the small red pagoda flew back like 2 cannonballs. Boom! Lu Ming crashed into a mountain and broke the peak of the mountain. His body flew back a few miles before he stopped in the air and spat out a mouthful of blood. Chapter 1137. Swoosh! Swoosh! The sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. The 4 elders had already appeared around Lu Ming, surrounding him tightly. Their terrifying aura was released without any concealment, forming a terrifying pressure that pressed down on him. 2 7th level and 2 8th level spirit god realm experts. After sensing briefly, Lu Ming knew the abilities of the 4 of them. The Imperial Xia family is really despicable. Lu Ming wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and revealed a mocking smile. There wouldn't be a second force other than the Imperial Xia family that could enter this place to kill him. He didn't need to guess to know that these 4 people must have been sent by the Imperial Xia family. Lu Ming really didn't expect that the Imperial Xia family, as the imperial family of the ancient Saint dynasty and an ancient family with a heritage of 1,000,000 years, would be so despicable. They promised him in front of others, but secretly sent people to kill him. Moreover, they really thought highly of him. They actually sent 2 7th level and 2 8th level spirit god realm experts. These people belonged to the advanced level of the spirit god realm. Even in the various forces, they were the top experts. Those who could cultivate to the 7th level of the spirit god realm and above weren't weak. Generally, those with 2nd and 3rd level spirit god realm bloodlines wouldn't be able to cultivate to the 7th level of the spirit god realm. Those who could reach the 7th level of the spirit god realm and above would awaken bloodlines that were at least 4th level of the spirit god realm. There was no doubt that these people had mastered a spirit god realm martial skill and were very powerful. Even with Lu Ming's strength, defeating or even killing a 6th level spirit god realm expert wouldn't be a problem. However, he definitely wouldn't be able to defeat a 7th level spirit god realm expert. Not to mention an 8th level spirit god realm existence. Lu Ming wouldn't stand a chance against an 8th level spirit god realm expert. This time, it could be said that he must be killed. Impudent. You can't judge the imperial family. You want to save a freak like Xian Yanqing? You must be dreaming. A 7th-level spirit god realm old man berated. A saber floated above his head and a terrifying saber intent bloomed in the air. Huh, you act one way in front of others. How can you be a member of the imperial family if you do such a despicable thing? No wonder the Xie family declined. Lu Ming sneered. How dare you? You're courting death. Everyone, hold the line for me. Leave this brat to me. I will definitely kill him today. The old man with the floating saber shouted with killing intent. All right, I'll leave him to you. The old man at the 8th level of the spirit god realm that attacked earlier nodded, and then he retreated with the other two to form an enormous encirclement. They surrounded Lu Ming and Chen Shi at the center and blocked off all paths of retreat for Lu Ming. Clang! The battle saber vibrated as it was held in the elder's hand. His eyes were filled with excitement as he smiled malevolently. Lu Ming, remember, the one who killed you is Xie Chu. Chi. The saber slashed down, and the saber power filled the air. A vast and terrifying saber light violently slashed toward Lu Ming. Above Lu Ming's head, the third bloodline appeared. A wisp of power entered Lu Ming's body, turning Lu Ming's long black hair blood red. At the same time, the third bloodline wriggled and turned into a long spear. Swoosh! Lu Ming held the long spear in his hand and swept it out, colliding with the saber light. Bang! A terrifying explosion spread out 1,000 miles. Lu Ming's body shook violently, and his body involuntarily retreated repeatedly. The battle strength of a 7th-level spirit god is indeed terrifying. Lu Ming was secretly alarmed in his heart. The battle strength of a 7th-level spirit god had already completely surpassed Lu Ming's. Die. So what if you're a heaven's pride whose name shakes the world? So what if you're a rare heaven's pride? You're still going to die at my hands. Xie Chu let out a long howl, and his saber intent became even stronger as he charged toward Lu Ming. 9 dragons appeared above Lu Ming's head. Lu Ming transformed into 9 dragons, and with the support of the third bloodline's power, he unleashed a violent attack and fought with Xie Chu. Xie Chu also executed bloodline fusion. Xie Chu's bloodline was a 5th-level divine rank battle saber. Under his 7th-level spirit god cultivation, it was incomparably powerful, and Lu Ming was completely suppressed. In the blink of an eye, they exchanged a few tens of moves, and a few saber injuries appeared on the 9 dragons' bodies. This kid's battle strength is truly shocking. He's actually able to fight Xie Chu for so long with a cultivation at the 3rd level of the spirit god realm. It's simply inconceivable. An old man at the side spoke. Even if he was about to kill Lu Ming, he couldn't help but exclaim with admiration. In the spirit god realm, the further one advanced, the more difficult it was to surmount a level to battle. Being able to exchange so many moves with a 7th-level spirit god expert with a cultivation at the 3rd level of the spirit god realm was truly too shocking and simply inconceivable. They'd lived for a few thousand years, yet it was the first time they'd seen it. This kid's natural talent is truly heaven-defying. Besides Long Chen, there's really no one on the Divine Desolation continent that's a match for him. In the future, he'll become a terrifying and invincible emperor. Unfortunately, this kid is too lawless, and only death awaits him. Another old man spoke with an extremely cold and indifferent voice, but his eyes contained admiration. Kid, die. Xie Chu roared loudly, and his combat strength grew even more violent. After exchanging a few tens of moves, he was actually still unable to kill Lu Ming, and it caused him to feel extremely embarrassed. Moreover, the killing intent in his heart grew stronger and stronger. Old fellow, you've cultivated for a few thousands of years, yet you only possess this little bit of combat strength. If I were you, I would have killed myself a long time ago. Lu Ming ridiculed while swiftly thinking of a way to escape in his heart. The surroundings were locked down by 3 experts, and it was too difficult to break out of the encirclement. Mainly because 8th-level spirit gods were too strong. If there were 4 7th-level spirit gods, then Lu Ming was fully confident in his ability to break out of the encirclement with the 9 dragons' heaven-trampling steps. However, there were 2 8th-level spirit gods, so Lu Ming's chances of breaking through were extremely small. Kid, do you think you're a genius? A dead genius isn't a genius. Let me tell you, after I kill you today, I'll go kill that bastard, Xia Nianqing. All of you can dream of leaving this place. Xia Chu shouted coldly as his attacks grew even more violent. Bang! Killing intent surged from Lu Ming, and his eyes were blood-red as he roared furiously. All of you still want to kill little Qing. That despicable bastard should have died long ago. This time, we'll get rid of him once and for all. Xia Chu sneered. All of you should die. Die. Kill. 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 Lu Ming let out a furious roar. His third bloodline vibrated, and strands of energy surged towards Lu Ming, filling Lu Ming's heart with endless killing intent. Initially, when Xia Chu said that they were going to kill Xia Nianqing, Lu Ming's murderous intent was already terrifyingly intense. In addition, he had borrowed more power from the third bloodline. There was only murderous intent in his mind. Endless murderous intent. Kid, stop. You can't borrow too much power from your third bloodline. Otherwise, you'll become a puppet that only knows how to kill. Dandan called out beside Lu Ming, allowing Lu Ming to barely retain a trace of clarity. At this moment, Lu Ming's body seemed to be filled with endless power. The 9 dragons emitted a dense blood-red color. Whoosh! The 9 dragons clawed at Xia Chu. Oh no, this power! Xia Chu's pupils suddenly widened, revealing a look of horror. In an instant, he felt that Lu Ming's power had increased exponentially, especially the killing intent. It was extremely terrifying, as if it wanted to kill all living things in the world. It made his heart turn cold and tremble. The 9 dragons clawed at him, and he felt as if he was about to suffocate. Chapter 1138. Bang! Xia Chu's body was directly blasted flying, and he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. He was enveloped by boundless killing intent and couldn't unleash his full strength at all. Coupled with Lu Ming borrowing even more power from the third bloodline, he directly injured Xia Chu with an all-out attack. Subsequently, the 9 dragons roared and directly collapsed. But amidst the light of the 9 dragons' collapse, an enormous steel rushed out and emitted a dazzling radiance. Prison-suppressing steel bloodline. As soon as the prison-suppressing steel bloodline appeared, it rapidly enlarged and became as large as a mountain. The prison-suppressing steel was similarly suffused with a dense bloody light as it pressed down on Xia Chu with a powerful momentum. Help! Feeling the terrifying killing intent and aura on the prison-suppressing steel that suppressed everything, Xia Chu cried out in horror. Stop! The other 3 experts at the side shouted and charged towards Lu Ming. But Lu Ming ignored them and continued to press down on Xia Chu. No! Xia Chu roared and resisted with all his might. But at this moment, he was injured and his combat strength was greatly reduced. How could he resist? Puff! As the prison-suppressing steel pressed down, Xia Chu spat out large mouthfuls of blood as the blood vessels all over his body ruptured. In the next moment, his entire body exploded with a bang. Xia Chu, a 7th-level spirit god expert, was killed by Lu Ming on the spot. Bang! 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 At this moment, the other 3 attacks blasted onto the prison-suppressing steel at the same time, causing it to be sent flying. It emitted a violent vibration and almost collapsed. Kill, kill, kill. The prison-suppressing steel shook as Lu Ming's cold and emotionless voice continuously sounded out from it. This kid can't be allowed to live. An 8th-level spirit god old man spoke and was extremely shocked in his heart. A 3rd-level spirit god martial artist was actually able to kill a 7th-level spirit god expert. It was truly too shocking, and he had never heard of it before. He felt a chill in his heart and was filled with the desire to kill Lu Ming. 2 8th-level spirit gods and 1 7th-level spirit god released a terrifying aura that firmly locked onto Lu Ming. "Today, all of you will die." Lu Ming's cold voice rang out. He wanted to borrow more power from his 3rd bloodline to kill all of these people. "Lu Ming, you can't continue borrowing the power of your bloodline. Otherwise, you won't be able to maintain your consciousness." Dandan shouted. "Kill! We must kill these people!" Lu Ming shouted. At this moment, there was only a trace of clarity left in his mind. It was as if he would be swallowed up and drowned by the endless killing intent at any moment. However, it was obviously not enough to kill an 8th-layer spirit god, and he needed to borrow even more strength. However, once he borrowed even more strength, Lu Ming would find it difficult to maintain the tranquility in his heart, and he would definitely be devoured by the boundless killing intent. But at this point, was there any other way? Lu Ming could only go all out. Fine, I'll go all out this time. Brat, there's no need to continue borrowing power." Dandan let out a long sigh and flew away from Lu Ming's side towards the 3 experts. "You 3 brats, if you can witness my true power today, you can die without regrets," Dandan said. At this moment, his body was emitting a dazzling light, and a terrifying aura was emitted from Dandan's body. This aura was high and mighty, as if he was the ruler of the world, overlooking the countless lives. It was like he was the world, and the world was him. In the dazzling light, Dandan's body grew at a terrifying speed. In the end, he turned into a divine turtle that was as tall as the sky, and even bigger than a 10,000-foot tall mountain. This is... The 3 old men turned pale with fright as they felt a fatal threat from the giant divine turtle. "Die!" A voice came out of the giant divine turtle's mouth. The giant turtle clawed at the 7th-layer spirit god expert. The 7th-layer spirit god expert wanted to dodge, but he realized that he couldn't move his body. He was imprisoned there as if he was locked by a world. "No!" He roared as he saw the giant claw coming down, and his body exploded. "Not good, run!" The remaining 2 8th-layer spirit god experts roared in horror. They wanted to escape, but their bodies seemed to have sunk into a quagmire, and it was extremely difficult to move. "Kill!" The giant turtle spat out the word, "kill," and 2 rays of light shot out from its mouth, piercing through the 2 8th-layer spirit god experts' foreheads and killing them. 2 8th-level spirit god realm experts had died just like that. Even though Lu Ming was filled with endless killing intent, he was still dumbfounded. After killing the 3 experts, the giant turtle shrunk rapidly and turned back into a little turtle. It lay in the air weakly and shouted, "What a loss, what a loss. I've been accumulating energy for so long, and it's almost gone in an instant. Lu Ming, you must accompany me, accompany me." Dandan shouted and floated towards Lu Ming weakly. "Let's go." Lu Ming's mind still had a trace of clarity. He waved his hand and put Dandan and the 2 8th-layer spirit god experts' corpses into the mountain and river diagram. His body moved, and he left this place. Such a big commotion just now would definitely alarm the experts in the city. He had to leave as soon as possible. Lu Ming turned into a ray of blood-red light and crossed the boundless earth. Soon, he appeared a million miles away. He found a secret place and entered the mountain and river diagram. Once he entered the mountain and river diagram, Lu Ming sat cross-legged under the Enlightenment ancient tree. He closed his eyes and did his best to resist the endless killing intent. The endless killing intent seemed to be able to drown Lu Ming at any time and turn Lu Ming into a killing machine. The blood-red light on his body flickered. Slowly, the blood-red light faded and returned to the third bloodline. He sat there for half a month. Half a month later, the power of the third bloodline was completely withdrawn into the third bloodline, and Lu Ming withdrew it to his spine. At the same time, he dispelled the endless killing intent in his heart. At this time, Lu Ming opened his eyes. There was no longer any killing intent in his eyes, and they were clear and bright. Huff! Lu Ming let out a long breath. This time, it was really close. The killing intent in the third bloodline had almost devoured his mind. The third bloodline was a double-edged sword. He had to be cautious when using it. If his cultivation was not high enough and he borrowed too much power, he would be drowned in the endless killing intent. This time, fortunately, Dandan made a move at the end. Otherwise, he would have to borrow even more power. In that case, Lu Ming would very likely be drowned by the endless killing intent and become a killing puppet. At the thought of Dandan, Lu Ming looked to the side and happened to see Dandan lying there, chewing on a stalk of spirit medicine in her mouth. She looked weak. Seeing that Lu Ming had woken up, Dandan jumped on Lu Ming's shoulder and shouted, "Lu Ming, this time I lost too much. My vitality is greatly damaged. You have to compensate me for the spiritual herbs, or I'll never let you off." "Okay, I'll give you any spiritual herbs that I don't need in the future." Lu Ming smiled and waved his hand, and a pile of spiritual herbs appeared. Dandan's eyes lit up. It swallowed all the spiritual herbs in one gulp and left them to eat slowly. "Boy, at least you have some conscience." Chapter 1139. It's indeed powerful. This time, Lu Ming was full of heartfelt admiration. Lu Ming was shocked that Dandan could turn into such a terrifying giant tortoise and kill an 8th-layer spirit god in an instant. "Don't make a fuss. Let me tell you, if it weren't for the fact that my strength is far from recovered, would be much stronger than that. I'm the world tortoise, the leader of the top 10 battle beasts. If I were at my peak and transformed into my true form, I would be as big as the world. Not to mention a mere 8th-layer spirit god, even a martial emperor would be killed by me." Dandan was smug. He felt comfortable all over at the sight of Lu Ming's impressed expression. "Could it be that you surpassed the martial emperor realm at your peak?" Lu Ming asked curiously. Lu Ming naturally believed that Dandan was a super expert who had been reborn. Otherwise, it would be impossible for it to have such means. Nonsense, which one of the top 10 battle beasts isn't an invincible existence? Martial emperors are nothing. Take your 9 dragons for example. If they were at their peak, they would be able to devour the sun and moon with a single gulp. What martial emperors? They would be able to devour everything in one gulp. Dandan had an invincible confidence. It then sighed and said, "I don't know if any of the top 10 battle beasts survived except for me." The battle back then, sigh. In the end, Dandan let out a long sigh. Lu Ming pricked up his ears and listened carefully. Now, with Dandan's recovery, his memory seemed to have recovered a lot. He might even be able to hear some unknown secrets from him. Dandan glanced at Lu Ming and said, "Sigh, I'm too weak. I need a good rest." After saying this, it ran away and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Lu Ming was speechless. He then moved and appeared on another mountain. The corpses of the 2 8th-layer spirit god realm elders were still lying there. The corpses of spirit god realm experts would not rot even after a few years or decades. Unfortunately, the true qi and blood qi have already dissipated. Lu Ming sensed it and sighed, feeling that it was a bit of a waste. However, the blood essence should still be there. The blood essence of an expert at the 8th level of the spirit god realm probably won't disperse even after a year has passed. With a thought, Lu Ming activated his 9 dragons bloodline and unleashed his devouring power. A total of 18 pearl-like drops of blood essence flew out and were devoured by the 9 dragons. Lu Ming sat down cross-legged and began to refine them. The blood essence and blood essence energy of two 8th level spirit god martial artists were shockingly dense. Lu Ming started to refine them with all his might. Around the 9 dragons bloodline, 7 golden chakras shone dazzlingly. As the power of the essence blood continued to be refined and integrated, the 7 golden chakras shone brighter and brighter. After a short while, with a hum, another pale golden chakra emerged. The 8th golden chakra. His 9 dragons bloodline improved by another level, becoming a rank 8 divine bloodline. The 9 dragons bloodline let out a long roar as its body rapidly enlarged and lengthened. It had doubled in size and looked even more majestic. Withdraw. With a thought, Lu Ming had the 9 dragons bloodline shrink rapidly, turning into a ray of blood light and entering Lu Ming's spine. As expected, there's an extra dragon force. Wait, this dragon force is so powerful. Lu Ming's eyes lit up when he sensed it slightly. The upgrade of the 9 dragons bloodline also gave birth to an extra dragon force. However, Lu Ming felt that the 8th dragon force was so powerful that it was comparable to the previous 7 dragon forces combined. In fact, before this, Lu Ming had already discovered that every dragon force would be stronger than the previous one. However, the extent of the increase was very limited. It would not be too exaggerated. However, the 8th dragon force was much stronger than the 7th dragon force. A rank 8 divine bloodline is indeed extraordinary. No wonder only those who have awakened a rank 8 divine bloodline can be called second-class geniuses in the central continent. A rank 7 divine bloodline is much weaker than a rank 8 divine bloodline. Lu Ming pondered and a smile appeared on his face. The stronger the dragon force was, the stronger his battle strength would be when he unleashed it. Lu Ming was looking forward to seeing what would happen when the 9 dragons bloodline reached the highest rank, the rank 9 divine bloodline. How strong would the dragon force be? There was a huge difference between a rank 8 divine bloodline and a rank 9 divine bloodline. It could be seen by looking at the difference between a tycoon-level genius and a second-class genius. If both the 9 dragons bloodline and the prison-suppressing steel bloodline reached rank 9 divine bloodline, how strong would Lu Ming's battle strength be? If Lu Ming unleashed all of his dragon force now, he would definitely have an easier time and win against other tycoon-level geniuses such as the Underworld Child and the Cerberus. Then, Lu Ming put away the storage rings of the 2 old men. With a wave of his hand, flames spread out and turned the bodies of the 2 old men into ashes. Who sent people to kill me? Lu Ming pondered with a frown. At first, he thought it was Xia Qitian who sent people to kill him. But later, those people said that they wanted to kill Xia Nianqing after killing him. This made Lu Ming speculate that it shouldn't be Xia Qitian. If Xia Qitian wanted to kill Xia Nianqing, he would have done it long ago. Why wait until now? Lu Ming guessed that it was someone else who sent people. Could it be Xia Zhen? But does Xia Zhen have such great power to mobilize an 8th level spirit god expert? Lu Ming pondered. Xia Qitian had more than a dozen princes under him. Xia Qitian's talent was very ordinary, so he might not have such great power. There should be someone helping Xia Zhen. Could it be Xia Qiyu? Because these 2 people wanted Lu Ming dead the most. At the same time, Xia Zhen had sent people to assassinate Xia Nianqing. Therefore, he was the most likely. Xia Zhen. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with murderous intent. This person was someone that Lu Ming must kill. After pondering for a while, Lu Ming came out of the mountain river diagram and continued to head towards the depths of the 9 underworlds. This time, Lu Ming slowed down. Along the way, he encountered quite a number of Devil Temple clansmen who attacked him. They were all at the Spirit Embryo realm. There were those at the 7th, 8th, and 9th level of Spirit Embryo realm. They were all easily killed by Lu Ming. However, no points appeared on the Jade token. Could it be that Xia Qitian lied to me? Lu Ming's eyes shone with a cold light as he continued to fly. After a day, Lu Ming didn't know how far he had traveled when a city appeared in front of him. Looking from afar, there were figures on the city. They were human martial arts practitioners and not Devil Temple clansmen. This should be the gathering place of the human race. Lu Ming's eyes lit up as he flew towards the city. If there were people, he could ask them about Xianyanqing. As Lu Ming approached, the people on the city noticed him and looked at Lu Ming coldly. It's a human. On the city wall, someone whispered with a bright gaze. Who are you? Someone on the city wall asked. I just entered the 9 underworlds not long ago. Please let me in. Lu Ming said. Newcomer. The eyes of the people on the city wall lit up even more as they said, since you are a human, come in. Lu Ming nodded and flew up the city wall towards the city. The city wasn't big, so there were even fewer people on the road. Chapter 1140. As soon as Lu Ming flew into the city, numerous pairs of eyes looked at him. He's new. It's not the time for the imperial family to send people to hunt the Masha clan. Looks like this person offended the imperial family and was exiled here. He's so young. He's probably a genius of some power. He's definitely rich. Leave this person to me. I need origin stones. Bullshit. Who doesn't need origin stones? This kid is mine. Numerous voices sounded out in the surroundings, and all of them stared at Lu Ming with burning gazes. These voices naturally entered into Lu Ming's ears. Lu Ming frowned as a trace of cold light blossomed from his eyes. He's mine. There was an angry bellow and a burly figure dashed out. He lifted his big hand and pressed it toward Lu Ming. Space trembled without end as a powerful force surged towards Lu Ming. This was a first-level spirit god realm expert. You're courting death. Lu Ming's gaze went cold as he slashed out with his palm. His palm was like a heavenly blade that slashed onto this person's palm. Crack. The bones in this person's palm were directly broken by Lu Ming. He let out a shrill cry as his figure retreated madly, and he looked at Lu Ming with astonishment. This person has some ability. Attack together. Someone shouted loudly. Instantly, 7 or 8 figures pounced towards Lu Ming. These figures were actually domain enlightened spirit god realm experts. There were first-level spirit god realm experts, second-level spirit god realm experts, and the strongest was third-level spirit god realm experts. The 8 of them attacked together and their momentum was extremely terrifying. All kinds of attacks covered Lu Ming's entire body. If it was an ordinary martial artist at the 3rd level of the spirit god realm, he would be injured or even suppressed under the siege of so many experts. But how could an ordinary 3rd level spirit god realm expert compare to Lu Ming? He circulated the hell-suppressing heaven art and slashed out 8 times in succession. Bang! 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 8 explosions sounded out, followed by a wave of the sound of bones breaking and shrill cries. The 8 figures spat out blood as they retreated, crashing heavily into the surrounding buildings. No matter if it was a 1st-level spirit god, a 2nd-level spirit god, or even a 3rd-level spirit god, they all suffered the same fate. And this was Lu Ming showing mercy. Otherwise, all of them would have died in one move. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air as they looked at Lu Ming in horror. It's too terrifying. It's only a single move, yet all 8 experts were heavily injured, and even that expert at the 3rd level of the spirit god realm was no exception. What sort of combat strength is this? Moreover, he looked so young, which was even more unbelievable. Could it be that he's one of the top geniuses outside? Someone said in a trembling voice, causing everyone to shudder. No one dared to make a move. Even though there were a few hundred people in this city, it was impossible for all of them to be at the domain enlightened spirit god realm. In reality, most of them were at the spirit embryo realm, and there were only a dozen or so at the domain enlightened spirit god realm. Lu Ming's cold gaze swept across the surroundings. When those people met Lu Ming's gaze, their hearts trembled, and they didn't dare to look directly at Lu Ming. Lu Ming took a step forward and appeared above the expert at the third level of the spirit god realm. It was an old man with white hair and a skinny figure. At this moment, he was looking at Lu Ming in horror. Lu Ming's palm strike just now contained an extremely terrifying power, but it didn't explode. He had a feeling that if it exploded, he would already be dead. "Young hero, please spare my life." This old man was confused for a moment. The old man kept begging for mercy. "Speak, why did you attack me as soon as I came in?" Lu Ming asked coldly. "Sigh, we were forced to do so." "Young hero, you must have just entered the underworld, right? Allow me to explain to you in detail." The skinny old man sighed, and then he explained in detail. It turned out that these people had offended the imperial family, or simply belonged to the ancient Saint dynasty. Because of their mistakes, they were exiled to the underworld to hunt the Devil Temple clan to atone for their sins. However, the Devil Temple clan was innumerable in the underworld demon domain, and they were scattered everywhere. It was very dangerous. As for the martial artists of the human clan, they absorbed and refined the demon chi very slowly in the underworld demon domain. After a long time, they had already used up the origin stones that they had brought. If the speed of refining the demon chi was too slow, it would be very disadvantageous for them in the battle against the Devil Temple clan. Sometimes, it was not them who hunted the Devil Temple clan, but the Devil Temple clan who hunted them. They had no choice but to gather together and build a city to defend against the Devil Temple clan. This was also the reason why Lu Ming saw this small city now. For the people of the underworld demon domain, what was the most precious thing? Of course, the origin stones were the most precious thing. Therefore, when they saw that Lu Ming had just entered the underworld demon domain, they were naturally greedy and wanted to seize Lu Ming's origin stones. To put it bluntly, these people were just a group of pitiful people. "You can all leave. I won't make things difficult for you." Lu Ming waved his hand and dismissed the few people who wanted to fight, leaving only the old man. The skinny old man's cultivation was the highest among these people, and he should be the leader of these people. "Young hero, do you have any other orders?" The skinny old man looked at Lu Ming, and he was a little nervous. To be honest, he had lived for a long time, but he had never seen such a powerful young expert before. "Let me ask you, the imperial family exiled you here to let you kill the Devil Temple clan, so that you can get points. When you have enough points, they will let you go, right?" Lu Ming asked. "Yes, that's right. However, the points are just a scam." The skinny old man gritted his teeth. "A scam? What's going on? Why didn't I get any points from killing the Devil Temple clan?" Lu Ming asked. "Young hero, the imperial family told you, how many points do you need to get out?" The skinny old man asked. 10,000. Lu Ming said. 10,000? The skinny old man's eyes suddenly widened, and he gasped with disbelief on his face. Lu Ming frowned, and he waited quietly for the old man to continue. Young hero, in my opinion, the imperial family has no intention of letting you out at all. They want to keep you here forever." The old man smiled bitterly. "What do you mean?" Lu Ming's eyes shone brightly. "Young hero, you still don't know how points are obtained, right? Let me tell you, killing members of the Devil Sha clan below the domain enlightened spirit god realm doesn't give you any points, and only by killing experts at the domain enlightened spirit god realm and above can you obtain points. Killing a first-level spiritual god will give you 1 point, a second-level spiritual god will give you 2 points, a third-level spiritual god will give you 3 points, and so on. Killing a 9th level spiritual god will give you 9 points, and killing a perfect spiritual god will give you 10 points. Killing a Supreme Stage Devil Temple clan member will give you 100 points, and killing a Monarch Stage Devil Temple clan member will give you 10,000 points. The skinny old man explained. Damn it! Lu Ming clenched his fists tightly while killing intent flashed explosively in his eyes. He understood that he'd been tricked. Xia Qitian, a dignified saint emperor, had actually deceived him. According to this conversion, how could he possibly obtain 10,000 points? Killing a first-level spiritual god Devil Temple clan member would only give him 1 point, and killing a perfect spiritual god would only give him 10 points. Even a Supreme Stage Devil Temple clan member would only give him 100 points. This meant that he had to kill 100 Supreme Stage Devil Temple clan members in order to obtain 10,000 points. Besides that, Monarch Stage Devil Temple clan members would give him 10,000 points, but killing a Monarch Stage Devil Temple clan member? Chapter 1141. Perhaps Lu Ming would never be able to obtain 10,000 points in his lifetime. They wanted to imprison Lu Ming in 9 Serenity's demon realm for the rest of his life. What a ruthless and brilliant method. Lu Ming's body emitted a cold murderous intent, which made the skinny old man shudder. Everything will wait until I find Xiaoqing. Lu Ming exhaled deeply, and withdrew his murderous intent. Senior, do you know where Xianyanqing, the 16th princess, is? Lu Ming finally asked the question that he wanted to ask the most. 9 Serenity's demon realm was too big. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack. This old man had been here for many years, so he might know something. 16th princess. You mean the princess with the bloodline of the royal family? The skinny old man said. Yes. I have some impression of her. 16th princess was exiled to 9 Serenity's demon realm 3 years ago. When she first came here, her cultivation was still weak. She stayed in the periphery of 9 Serenity's demon realm for a while. Later, she stayed in this city for a year. I'm quite familiar with her. Sigh, it's a pity that the royal family treated a rare genius like her so badly. Why are you looking for her? The skinny old man said, and then let out a long sigh, as if he felt sorry for Xianyanqing. Hearing this, Lu Ming's eyes lit up, and he said, I'm her friend. Senior, do you know where she is now? I don't know. The skinny old man shook his head and said, the royal family asked 16th princess for the same thing as you, 10,000 points. So, after her cultivation improved, she left here and went deep into 9 Serenity's demon realm. Crack. The old man's words made Lu Ming clench his fists, and the murderous intent in his heart bloomed uncontrollably. Lu Ming's heart was very uncomfortable. The murderous intent toward the royal family, Xia Zhen, and Xia Qitian was very strong. They wanted to imprison Xianyanqing in the 9 underworlds for the rest of his life. Especially 3 years ago. At that time, Xianyanqing was only at the Sea of Soul realm, but they had already imprisoned Xianyanqing in the 9 underworlds. It was not hard to imagine how much Xianyanqing had suffered and how many dangers he had encountered in the past few years. At the thought of this, Lu Ming's heart ached. But now, Xianyanqing had already entered the depths of the 9 underworlds. Where was he? Lu Ming's thoughts wandered for a long time before he calmed down. Senior, please take these origin stones. Lu Ming gave the skinny old man a storage ring, which contained tens of thousands of origin stones. Then, Lu Ming soared into the sky and left the city, heading towards the depths of the 9 underworlds. In the 9 underworlds, there was also day and night. During the day, there was a dark sun floating in the sky. At night, there was a blood moon in the sky. Moreover, when the blood moon was in the sky, the devil qi in the world was extremely dense. At this time, the devil clan and the demonic beasts would be stronger, while the human race would be suppressed. The blood moon in the sky and the devil Qi was vast and mighty. However, to Lu Ming, it did not affect him at all. The 9 dragons' bloodline burst out, devouring the billowing devil Qi and refining it into true yuan. Lu Ming flew rapidly into the depths of the 9 underworlds. There were definitely more than a few human race warriors in the 9 underworlds. In the depths of the 9 underworlds, there must be a gathering place of the human race. Lu Ming planned to find the gathering place of the human race and inquire about it. Swoosh! Swoosh! There was a sharp sound of something breaking through the air. A few black figures whizzed over and charged toward Lu Ming. The 3 devil clan members were extremely ferocious. They held bone spears in their hands and stabbed at Lu Ming. Their speed was terrifyingly fast, and their auras were also very strong. These 3 were first-level Spirit God Realm Devil Clan members. With the blood moon in the sky, it was extremely dangerous to walk in the 9 underworlds because many of the Devil Clan members would move out. Roar! The 9 dragons roared, and the devouring power shrouded the 3 Devil Clan members. The 3 Devil Clan members could not move at all, and their eyes were filled with fear. Then, the energy and blood essence of the 3 Devil Clan members were devoured by the 9 dragons, and they turned into 3 dried corpses. The 9 dragons had reached the 8th level of the divine realm, and their devouring power was undoubtedly stronger. After killing the 3 first-level Spirit God Realm Devil Clan members, a change finally appeared on the Jade token, and a number appeared, 3. Lu Ming sneered. Killing a first-level Spirit God Realm Devil Clan member only gave him 1 point. Compared to the terrifying number of 10,000 points, what was the use of this? Lu Ming's figure flashed, and he continued to fly towards the depths of the 9 underworlds. In just a short while, the 3 first-level Spirit God Realm Devil Clan members' blood essence were completely refined by Lu Ming. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, the blood essence of the first-level Spirit God Realm Devil Clan members was naturally useless to Lu Ming. Just like this, Lu Ming continued to travel for 3 days. Along the way, he encountered more than a dozen attacks. Some were from the Devil Clan, and some were from the Devil Beasts here. However, there were not many of them above the Spirit God realm. Most of the attacks were from the Spirit Embryo realm. In 3 days, Lu Ming had crossed thousands of mountains and rivers. Die! Human! Kill him! In front of him, a sharp voice sounded. Lu Ming heard it and knew it was the voice of the Devil Clan. Then, a series of explosions sounded in front of him. Apparently, a fierce battle had taken place. Lu Ming did not hesitate and flew towards the source of the sound. After 3 days, he was finally going to meet a human again. In a mountain range, 7 to 8 Devil Clan members were besieging a middle-aged man. The middle-aged man's cultivation was very high. He was at the 4th level Spirit God realm, and he was fighting with 7 to 8 Devil Clan members. However, the 7 to 8 Devil Clan members were all strong practitioners. The weakest among them was at the 2nd level Spirit God realm. The rest were at the 3rd level Spirit God realm, and there was even one at the 4th level Spirit God realm. With so many Devil Clan members working together, the middle-aged man was at a disadvantage. He could only defend himself and did not have the strength to fight back. Break for me! The middle-aged man fought back with all his strength and chopped a 2nd level Spirit God realm Devil Clan member to death. However, his back was also cut by a 4th level Spirit God realm Devil Clan member's bone spur, and blood flowed out. He used all his strength to break out of the encirclement and flew forward. Behind him, the other Devil Clan members chased after him. The middle-aged man was running in the direction of Lu Ming. After flying for some distance, the middle-aged man saw Lu Ming's figure. "Little brother, leave quickly!" The middle-aged man shouted. However, Lu Ming stood in the air and did not move. "Little brother, leave quickly!" There are experts of the Devil clan behind you. Seeing that Lu Ming did not move, the middle-aged man shouted again. He was a little anxious. The corner of Lu Ming's mouth curved into a smile. This middle-aged man had a good heart. He reminded him to leave. If it were an ordinary person, they would have used Lu Ming to block the attack to buy time for themselves. It's just a few Devil clan members. There's no need to run. Lu Ming smiled. The 9 dragons' bloodline appeared and the devouring power erupted, shrouding the entire Wuxia clan. The middle-aged burly man looked on in horror. Apart from the 4th-level spirit god Wuxia clan member, the rest of the Wuxia clan members shriveled rapidly. In the end, they lost their vitality and turned into dried corpses. Whoosh! Chapter 1142. The middle-aged man was flabbergasted, and he was stunned on the spot. 7 domain enlightened spirit god realm clansmen, and the strongest amongst them was in existence at the 4th level of the domain enlightened spirit god realm, yet they were instantly annihilated by Lu Ming, and the middle-aged man felt like he was dreaming. Moreover, Lu Ming looked to be so young, yet such combat strength was simply inconceivable. Big brother, it's done. Lu Ming smiled as he put away the 9 dragons' bloodline, and then he split a portion of his attention to start refining it. Little brother is amazing, truly amazing. I admire you. The middle-aged man stuttered as he sighed with emotion. Lu Ming smiled lightly and didn't say anything. I'm Dushan, what's your name? Asked the middle-aged man. Lu Ming. Lu Ming replied. Brother Lu, big brother has important matters to attend to, so I can't accompany you. Little brother, be careful. As soon as he finished speaking, Dushan intended to fly towards a direction. Big brother Du, what's the matter? Perhaps Lu Ming can be of help. Lu Ming called out to Dushan. He'd finally encountered another human race cultivator with great difficulty, and Lu Ming was just about to inquire about Xian Yinqing from him, so how could he allow Dushan to leave so easily? Alas, the human race gathering place I'm at is being besieged by the Devil Sha clan. I received the news and wanted to rush back to provide assistance, yet I never expected that I would be blocked by the Devil Sha clan here. Dushan sighed and was slightly anxious. The human race gathering place? I'll go with you. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Alright, perhaps we'll be able to be saved with little brother along. Dushan's eyes lit up as well. The combat strength Lu Ming revealed earlier was unfathomable and formidable to the extreme, so he intended to ask Lu Ming for help as well. However, Lu Ming had saved him earlier and asked Lu Ming to take a risk with him, so he was truly embarrassed to ask. At this moment, Lu Ming had taken the initiative to ask, so he was naturally overjoyed. Dushan immediately led the way while Lu Ming followed behind him, and they flew swiftly towards the north. After flying for hundreds of thousands of miles, the sound of battle cries could be heard from the front. In the distance, they could see a fortress made of strange metal. Around the fortress, there was an intense battle going on. More than 1,000 Devil Temple clansmen surrounded the fortress. Among them, there were many existences with powerful auras. Lu Ming scanned them with his spiritual consciousness and discovered that there were dozens of Devil Temple clansmen at the Spirit God realm. The rest were all Devil Temple clansmen at the high stage of the Spirit Embryo realm. On the other hand, there were very few people in the fort, and there were only a little over 20 of them. All of them were domain enlightened Spirit God realm experts, and they were in a battle with the Wuxia clan. However, they were obviously in a completely disadvantaged position. Human, die. A shrill scream was heard. One of the Demon Sha clan's clansmen had a particularly strong aura. Both of his hands were holding a black, extremely sharp boned spear. His body moved as fast as lightning, dashing towards a human expert. That human expert was at the 3rd level of Spirit God realm, but he couldn't fight back against this Wuxia clan member. The bone spike pierced through his glabella, and he didn't even have time to scream before he was killed. The peak of the 5th level of Spirit God Realm. Lu Ming could tell at a glance that this Wuxia clan member was at the peak of the 5th level of Spirit God Realm. He was the strongest existence in the Wuxia clan. Among the human martial artists, the strongest was only at the 4th level of Spirit God Realm. Damn it, kill! Seeing this, Du Shan shouted loudly and rushed forward with his battle axe. Another one has come to die. The Wuxia clan member at the 5th level of Spirit God Realm glanced at Du Shan coldly and sneered. His demonic aura surged, and his pair of flesh spikes flapped. His body pounced at Lu Ming like lightning. A battle axe floated above Du Shan's head. It was Du Shan's bloodline, a 4th level divine bloodline. Du Shan transformed into a battle axe and slashed at his opponent. Ding! Ding! 2 crisp sounds were heard. The battle axe that Du Shan had transformed into was sent flying far away. Die! The Wuxia clan member screamed. The bone spike in his hand was thin and long, but it was extremely hard and sharp. It seemed to be able to pierce through everything as it stabbed towards Du Shan. Chi! Chi! 2 jarring sounds were heard. The bone spike of the Wuxia clan member had pierced through the battle axe that Du Shan had transformed into. An angry roar came from the battle axe. The battle axe shook and dispersed, turning back into Du Shan's body. His face was pale as he retreated quickly. Die! The Wuxia clan member's eyes were cold. The bone spike pierced through the air and stabbed towards Du Shan's glabella. At this moment, a palm that was like a knife suddenly appeared and slashed at the bone spike. A terrifying force exploded, and the bone spike buzzed and broke into dozens of pieces. The palm knife followed the momentum and struck the shoulder of the Wuxia clan member. Bam! The shoulder of the Wuxia clan member exploded, and he was sent flying like a cannonball. A few Spirit Embryo Realm Wuxia clan members were killed by the impact. Roar! The 9 dragons roared, and a devouring force exploded, enveloping the Wuxia clan members. The Spirit Embryo Realm Wuxia clan members were instantly devoured and turned into dried corpses. The 1st level, 2nd level, and 3rd level Spirit God Realm Wuxia clan members screamed in fear and turned into dried corpses under the devouring force. The human martial artists were all stunned. The remaining Wuxia clan members roared crazily, trying to escape. However, under the terrifying devouring force, they were unable to move as if they had fallen into a quagmire. Kill! Lu Ming rushed over and cut down all the Wuxia clan members as if he was cutting grass. Swoosh! The 5th level Spirit God Realm Wuxia clan member was only injured, but he was not dead yet. He flapped his wings and turned into a ray of demonic light, trying to escape. He knew that a top human martial artist had come. The attack just now had severely injured him. If he did not escape, only death would await him. However, he was shocked to find that he could not escape at all. Lu Ming's figure was like a flickering shadow. He caught up with the 5th level Spirit God Realm Wuxia clan member in an instant and appeared behind him. Let's die together. Torrential slaughter. Seeing that he could not escape, the Wuxia clan member roared angrily. Demonic chi soared into the sky. He spread his wings and his body spun rapidly in the air. A pair of wings cut through the air like 2 sabers, bringing about a torrential attack. It was like a terrifying tornado that could destroy everything. It swept towards Lu Ming. 2 streams of dragon power burst out from Lu Ming's body. He then performed the hell-suppressing heaven skill and slashed down with his palm. This palm was like a heavenly saber that had the power to suppress everything. Boom! The torrential attack of the Wuxia clan member collapsed instantly. The palm slashed on the Wuxia clan member and killed him. His energy and blood essence were all devoured by Lu Ming. In the castle, the human martial artists stared with their eyes wide open. It seemed that they had not reacted yet. "Brother Lu Ming, thank you for saving us again. Otherwise, sigh." Du Shan walked over and thanked Lu Ming. His voice was filled with emotion. If it were not for Lu Ming, he would have been dead long ago. At this time, the human martial artists in the castle came to their senses and flew over to thank him. Especially when they saw that Lu Ming had such battle strength at such a young age, they were even more amazed. "I heard that the geniuses of the outside world are rising. The young generation is dominated by the 5 giants. But in my opinion, Brother Lu's battle strength is probably stronger than the 5 giants." A white-haired old man exclaimed. Chapter 1143. Lu Ming quickly said that he didn't dare and then chatted with them for a while. Through the conversation, Lu Ming found out that all of them had offended the royal family or the powerful figures in the ancient Saint dynasty. There were even experts from the overlord forces among them. They might not know each other outside, but they were very united in the abyss of hell. Because in the abyss of hell, if they weren't united, they would be defeated by the Wuxia clan one by one and be buried here. Similarly, the royal family had set a score for them. As long as they could complete the score, they would be allowed to leave. However, the score was so high that it made them despair. However, they were all spiritual God realm experts who could live for 5,000 years. They weren't willing to be locked up in the abyss of hell for the rest of their lives. Therefore, they hoped that they could accumulate enough points to leave the abyss of hell. Therefore, they would constantly hunt down the Wuxia clan. In return, the Wuxia clan would kill them. That was why the Wuxia clan attacked the city today. In fact, the Wuxia clan attacking the city was a common occurrence. However, the Wuxia clan that came today was a little too strong. "Little brother Lu, can we have a chat in the castle?" Du Shan invited. "It's okay. However, I have a question that I would like to ask all of you." Lu Ming cupped his fists and said. "What is it? Just say it. As long as I know, I will tell you." The others said one after another. "Seniors, may I ask if you have seen 16th Princess?" Lu Ming asked. "16th Princess? Are you talking about 16th Princess who has the bloodline of the royal family?" "I haven't seen her, but I heard that she is in the abyss of hell." Du Shan pondered for a moment and said. Many others shook their heads. "I have seen 16th Princess once." A voice sounded, causing Lu Ming's heart to skip a beat. It was the white-haired old woman. "Senior, when was that? Where did you see her?" Lu Ming asked hurriedly. "A few months ago, about a few million miles away from here. I even talked to 16th Princess. She said that she was going to the Devil's Steel Mountain." The old woman replied. "What? Devil's Steel Mountain?" Everyone else sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat and said, "Devil's Steel Mountain? Is it very dangerous?" "Indeed, it's very dangerous. Brother Lu, the Devil's Steel Mountain is a forbidden area in the 9 underworlds. Many powerful Devil Temple clan members have entered the Devil's Steel Mountain and they all died there. Humans are no exception." Du Shan sighed. "There's no way out?" Lu Ming started to feel anxious. If it was so dangerous, why would Xianyanqing go? "Seniors, do you have a map to the Devil's Steel Mountain?" Lu Ming said. "Brother Lu, are you going to the Devil's Steel Mountain? That place is extremely dangerous. Although the Devil's Steel Mountain is incomparably dangerous, there are powerful Devil Temple clans residing around the Devil's Steel Mountain all year round. They cultivate in the outer region of the Devil's Steel Mountain, hoping to obtain some good fortune. Therefore, the outer region of the Devil's Steel Mountain is extremely dangerous. Little brother, you have to be careful. The white-haired old woman tried to mediate. Many thanks, seniors. However, Lu Ming must go to the Devil's Steel Mountain. Lu Ming's tone was resolute. Now that he knew Xian Yanqing's whereabouts and that he might be in danger, he had to go even if he had to climb a mountain of swords or enter a sea of flames. Seeing Lu Ming's resolute attitude, Du Shan, the white-haired old O, and the others sighed and stopped trying to persuade him. In the end, the white-haired old O took out a map and gave it to Lu Ming. The map was rough, but it roughly depicted the 9 Nether Devil domains' topography and location. On the map, there was a rough route to the 9 Nether Devil Steel Mountain. Many thanks, seniors. Lu Ming will take his leave. Lu Ming kept the map and bid farewell to the others. He didn't want to waste a second. Lu Ming transformed into a beam of light and pierced through the night sky, heading in the direction of the demonic tablet mountain at an extremely fast speed. On the way, Lu Ming used an illusory aura technique to darken his aura, making it similar to the Devil Temple clan's aura. As expected, it saved him a lot of trouble. The number of Devil Temple clan members who attacked him decreased greatly. Lu Ming's speed was very fast. He was on his way. A few months ago, Xian Yanqing went to the Devil's Steel Mountain. He should have arrived by now. The Devil's Steel Mountain is so dangerous. How is Xian Yanqing now? Thinking of this, Lu Ming's heart was burning with anxiety. He couldn't wait to get to Xian Yanqing's side. The Devil's Steel Mountain was located in the depths of the 9 Nether Devil domain. It was very far away from the castle where Du Shan and the others were. With Lu Ming's speed, it took him 5 days to reach the Devil's Steel Mountain. Lu Ming stood in the air and looked into the distance. He was slightly shocked. This area was filled with mountains as far as the eye could see. There were many mountains and steep ridges with all kinds of strange plants growing on them. However, among the mountains, there was a mountain peak that was extremely prominent. Even from a very far distance, one could see it with a single glance. This was because the mountain peak was too majestic. It was like a crane in a flock of chickens among the mountains. It was high up in the sky and no one knew how high it was. The mountain was shrouded in black mist. It was impossible to see the exact situation of the mountain peak. Is that the Devil's Steel Mountain? Lu Ming thought in his heart. His eyes were filled with shock and doubt. This was because he felt that the suppressing hell steel bloodline in his body was emitting a scorching aura as if it was about to appear from his spine. What's going on? Why is the Devil's Steel Mountain causing the suppressing hell steel bloodline to react? Lu Ming was puzzled. Let's go. With a thought, Lu Ming flew towards the huge mountain that was shrouded in black mist. As he got closer, he could feel the grandeur and majesty of the huge mountain. The other mountains were also tall and majestic. However, compared to this mountain, they were far inferior. The suppressing hell steel bloodline's reaction was even more intense. Lu Ming's heart jumped. He felt that there was a powerful fluctuation in front of him. It was not just one wave, but several. Each wave contained a powerful devil aura. They were the experts of the Devil Temple clan. Lu Ming withdrew his aura to the extreme and flew forward. That human girl obtained a treasure in the Devil's Steel Mountain. We must not let that treasure fall into the hands of the human race. Let's attack together and kill her. Let's go together. That human girl has been surrounded. She can't escape. She must die today. The treasure in the Devil's Steel Mountain belongs to the Devil Temple clan. A few dry and unpleasant voices sounded. A few figures flew past in front of him. They were all members of the Devil Temple clan. Their auras were very strong. With a quick glance, Lu Ming realized that the Devil Temple clan members were all in the 6th level of the Spirit God realm. Could the person they are talking about be Little Qing? Not good. Lu Ming's expression changed. He followed the 3 Devil Temple clan members from afar. Boom! Boom! Sizzle! Not long after, a violent explosion sounded in front of him. There was also the sound of sharp weapons piercing through the air. There was still a great battle in front of him. This made Lu Ming feel slightly relieved. In front of him, the Devil Temple clan members increased their speed and flew quickly. They were like bolts of lightning. They flew past a few mountains and joined the battle. Not good. Lu Ming used the 9 Dragons' heaven-stomping steps and rushed over the last few hundred miles in an instant. He arrived at the battlefield. In front of him, more than 10 Devil Temple clan experts were besieging a human girl. Seeing the girl, Lu Ming's heart trembled violently. Chapter 1144. The beautiful woman in front of him was none other than the Xianyanqing that Lu Ming yearned for day and night. It had been more than 3 years since Lu Ming and Xianyanqing had parted ways in 9 Dragons City. After 3 years, Xianyanqing had matured a little, but he had also lost some weight. His face was cold, and so was his gaze. At this moment, Xianyanqing's demonic aura billowed to the sky. He gently pressed his palms forward, and a terrifying force field covered a radius of 100 miles, destroying everything. At the same time, above Xianyanqing's head, there was a beautiful woman. She was sitting cross-legged on a black lotus, and her demonic aura billowed. Her palms were constantly striking out, blocking the attacks that came from all directions. This was Xianyanqing's 3rd bloodline, which was very similar to Xianyanqing's 2nd bloodline. However, there were 9 golden chakras around his body. A 9th grade divine grade bloodline. Moreover, Xianyanqing's cultivation had also stepped into the 3rd level spirit god realm. There were 11 people from the Wuxia clan besieging Xianyanqing. The 11 Wuxia clan members were all in the 6th level spirit god realm. Each of them held a terrifying bone spike in their hands, and they surrounded Xianyanqing and attacked him fiercely. Xianyanqing's terrifying force field covered a radius of 100 miles, and the Wuxia clan members' speed was greatly affected. Moreover, Xianyanqing mainly focused on defense. Even so, he was still at a disadvantage. If this continued, he would be defeated sooner or later. Girl, hand over the demon statue, and I'll leave your corpse intact. Otherwise, you'll end up miserable. This human girl is really beautiful. Even I am tempted. After I take him down, I'll let him have a taste of my power. A series of unpleasant and ear-piercing voices sounded. You're courting death. At this moment, the killing intent in Lu Ming's heart exploded. Within his body, 8 dragon energies suddenly erupted, filling his body with incomparably powerful energy. Taking a step forward, Lu Ming's body turned into a beam of black spear light, darting into Xianyanqing's force field. He activated the suppressing hell heavenly skill and threw a punch at a demon temple clan member. The Wuxia clan member did not expect that someone would attack him at this moment. He wanted to dodge, but it was already too late. Bang! Lu Ming's fist slammed into the demon nether's back, and a terrifying power exploded out, creating a large hole in the demon nether's body. When Xianyanqing heard the commotion, he thought that the Devil Sha clan's experts had come to reinforce them. Instinctively, he turned to look in their direction. When she saw Lu Ming's figure, her petite figure shuddered violently, and her eyes were filled with disbelief. At this moment, her eyes were completely focused on Lu Ming. She could not take her eyes off him at all. Chi! A sharp sound rang out as it rapidly approached Xianyanqing. Watch out! Lu Ming was shocked and angry, and he quickly rushed towards Xianyanqing. At this moment, a Wuxia clan member seized the opportunity to attack Xianyanqing while Xianyanqing was distracted. Xianyanqing only came to his senses after Lu Ming shouted at him. He unleashed his force field and retreated hastily. However, he was still a step too late. His shoulder was pierced by the sharp edge of the Wuxia clan's bone spur. A small wound appeared and blood kept flowing. "You're courting death," Lu Ming shouted, and his third bloodline appeared. A trace of energy entered Lu Ming's body, turning Lu Ming's hair and eyes blood-red. "Kill." His third bloodline turned into a battle sword. Lu Ming held the blood-red battle sword in his hand and used the 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps. He instantly appeared in front of the Wuxia clan member who had launched a sneak attack. He slashed out with his sword, and sword light burst out, cutting the 6th-level spirit god expert in half. Lu Ming. Xian Yinqing didn't care about his injury, and his eyes were still fixed on Lu Ming, not wanting to move away at all. She was afraid that all of this was an illusion, a dream. If she moved her eyes away, everything in front of her would vanish. She didn't know how many times she had had such a dream. "Little Qing, I'm here." Lu Ming reached out a hand and held Xian Yinqing's little hand. Xian Yinqing's little hand was cold. The heat from Lu Ming's palm was transmitted to Xian Yinqing's little hand, causing Xian Yinqing's body to tremble. His big eyes were filled with tears. "Lu Ming, is it really you? Am I dreaming?" Xian Yinqing looked at Lu Ming in a daze. His little hand tightened and grabbed Lu Ming's big hand tightly, as if he was afraid that Lu Ming would disappear if he let go. "Silly, it's really me. Let's kill these Wuxia clan members first," Lu Ming said softly, and then glanced around. Lu Ming suddenly appeared and killed 2 Wuxia clan members with lightning speed. The other Wuxia clan members were shocked, and they retreated far away. They didn't attack for a while. "It's also a 3rd-level spirit god kid. He launched a sneak attack just now, and that's why he killed 2 of us. There's nothing to be afraid of. We can kill them if we join forces," a Wuxia clan member said, his eyes cold. "That's right. Let's attack together and kill." Whoosh! 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 The remaining 9 Wuxia clan members attacked together. The bone spears in their hands broke through the void, and attacked Lu Ming and Xian Yinqing. Heavenly Demon Force Field. Xian Yinqing finally calmed down and shouted. She pressed her palm, and a terrifying force field exploded. After 3 years, Xian Yinqing had awakened her 3rd bloodline, and her cultivation had reached the 3rd-level spirit god realm. Her force field seemed to have broken through as well, becoming even more terrifying. The heavenly demon force field shrouded the Wuxia clan members. At the same time, there was a terrifying destructive force in the force field, which greatly reduced the speed of the Wuxia clan members. However, Lu Ming wasn't affected at all. This kind of intent realm? Lu Ming's gaze flickered. He realized that Xian Yinqing's artistic conception was one more type than before. It was a terrifying demonic artistic conception, and its power was terrifying. Without much time to think, Lu Ming stepped out. His killing intent surged like a tide, and he attacked the Wuxia clan members. He realized that the 8th dragon force was indeed powerful. At this moment, all 8 dragon forces were unleashed, and his battle strength was even more powerful than before. Swoosh! Lu Ming appeared in front of a Wuxia clan member, and his cold killing intent shrouded the Wuxia clan member, making him shudder. Whoosh! The blood-red sword light slashed at the Wuxia clan member. The terrifying power shocked the Wuxia clan member, and he hastily used his bone spear to block. With a ripping sound, the bone spear was cut off. The sword light flashed, and one of the Wuxia clan member's arms was cut off. The Wuxia clan member was horrified and wanted to run away. However, Lu Ming's second sword attack came. Puchi! Bloody light burst forth, blood splashed out, and a head flew high into the air. A 6th-level spirit god realm Wuxia clan member was killed in an instant. If Lu Ming were to deal with a 6th-level spirit god realm Wuxia clan member alone, it wouldn't be so easy to kill him without a sneak attack. It would probably take some effort. However, with Xian Yinqing's help, killing a 6th-level spirit god realm Masha clan member was easy. Swoosh! After killing the Masha clan member, Lu Ming attacked another one. At this moment, the two seemed to have returned to the past. They had returned to the time when they were adventuring in the eastern wasteland. At that time, the two of them had also cooperated like this. Chapter 1145. Lotus Sword, Kill. Xian Yinqing shouted as black lotuses appeared around her. The black lotus petals condensed into black lotus swords in the sky and shot towards the Masha clan. Every lotus sword was terrifyingly powerful. There were intents lingering around them as they slashed through the sky and cut open the space. The Masha clan members could only divert their attention to block the lotus swords. Their battle strength was affected again. Puchi. Lu Ming rushed over and killed another Masha clan member in less than 2 moves. Not good. The two of them are too powerful. Some of the Masha clan members cried out in fear. The combination of Lu Ming and Xian Yinqing was terrifyingly powerful. It wasn't as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Their battle strength had increased exponentially. The Masha clan members wanted to retreat. What are you afraid of? Let's attack together. At this moment, an ear-piercing voice sounded. Not far away, a terrifying light flew towards them, emitting a powerful aura. 7th-level spirit god. Lu Ming's heart shook. It was a Masha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm. Seeing a Masha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm, the other Masha clan members became more confident. A 7th-level spirit god was much stronger than a 6th-level spirit god. Kill! Kill! The Masha clan members tried their best to break through the force field and charged towards Lu Ming. Whoosh! The Masha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm charged towards Xian Yinqing. He could see that Xian Yinqing's influence was too great in a group battle. It would be much easier to deal with Lu Ming after dealing with Xian Yinqing. Sizzle! The Masha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm charged into the heavenly demon force field. An ear-piercing sound rang out along with a series of flames. However, he still broke through the force field and charged towards Xian Yinqing. Xian Yinqing waved his hands and the black lotus swords were deflected by the Masha clan members' bone spikes. Kill! At this moment, Lu Ming's figure flashed and appeared in front of the 7th-level spirit god realm Masha clansman. He slashed out with his blood-red battle sword and collided with the opponent's bone spike. Ding! Lu Ming's body and his opponent's body retreated at the same time. That Masha clansman was shocked. He didn't expect Lu Ming to be so strong. He was only at the 3rd layer of spirit god realm, but he was actually able to push him back. Roar! Above Lu Ming's head, the 9 dragons' bloodline emerged. Lu Ming performed the bloodline fusion, turning into 9 dragons. The 9 dragons roared, and a devouring power burst out. Together with Xian Yinqing's force field, it enveloped the Masha clan member. At the same time, the 9 dragons stepped forward and charged toward the Masha clan. On the other side, Xian Yinqing also used bloodline fusion, turning into a peerless heavenly demon. His heavenly demon energy field became even stronger. He pressed his jade-like hand down, and a black jade-like palm print pressed towards the demon temple clan. Boom! Boom! Facing the joint attack of the two of them, the Masha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm was beaten back repeatedly and spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Prison suppression, kill! The 9 dragons stepped forward, and every inch of his body could erupt with the prison suppression heaven art. The dragon claws and dragon tails were extremely terrifying. Moreover, Lu Ming had once comprehended a true dragon battle technique from the Jade Wall of the World Academy. When they worked together, their power was even more powerful. Bang! The Masha clan member was beaten until blood kept spurting out of his mouth. His last wing was torn off by the 9 dragons' claws. Then, the heavenly demon that Xian Yanqing had transformed into slammed his palm down on the Masha clan member's chest, almost tearing him into pieces. Although he didn't die, he lost half of his life. No, no! The Masha clan member roared, and wanted to escape. At this moment, he was extremely terrified. He never thought that the 2/3 layer of Spirit God Realm ants would be so powerful. The two of them working together actually beat him, a 7th layer of Spirit God Realm existence, without any strength to fight back. However, it was already too late for him to escape now. Bang! The 9 dragons' claws slammed down on the Masha clan member's head, piercing through his skull. A 7th layer of Spirit God Realm martial artist was dead. Run! The rest of the Masha clan members were so shocked that their hearts almost stopped beating. This was too terrifying. A 7th layer of Spirit God Realm expert died just like that. It had only been a few moves. All of you, stay here. The 9 dragons roared, and their devouring power spread out rapidly, enveloping the rest of the Masha clan. At the same time, Xian Yanqing's heavenly demon force field also spread out, enveloping all of the Masha clan members. Roar! The 9 dragons stepped forward and instantly appeared in front of a Masha clan member, clawing down and killing him directly. The heavenly demon that Xian Yanqing had transformed into also stepped forward and slammed his palm down, smashing a Masha clan member into pieces. With the two of them working together, killing a 6th layer of Spirit God Realm Masha clan member was as easy as chopping vegetables. No matter how hard the Masha clan members roared, it was useless. They were all killed one by one. In less than a minute, the rest of the Masha clan members were all killed, and their blood essence and energy were all devoured by the 9 dragons. At this moment, the 9 dragons shrunk rapidly and turned back into Lu Ming. Xian Yanqing also withdrew his bloodline. The two of them stood in the air, looking at each other. Their eyes were filled with longing for each other. Lu Ming! Xian Yanqing exclaimed softly. After the battle, Xian Yanqing was finally sure that all of this was real, and not a dream. Lu Ming really came to the 9 Serenities demon realm, and she really saw Lu Ming. At the same time, the two of them walked towards each other, looking at each other from a distance. Xian Yanqing could no longer hold back the tears in his eyes, and they flowed down his cheeks continuously. Little Qing. Lu Ming reached out his hand and wiped away Xian Yanqing's tears. Lu Ming, you're finally here. Xian Yanqing threw himself into Lu Ming's arms. Lu Ming also hugged Xian Yanqing tightly, as if he wanted to pull her into his body and never let her go. Unknowingly, the two of them kissed for a long time, unwilling to separate. After a long time, their lips parted. Little Qing, let's leave here first. Lu Ming arrived. After the battle here, the Masha clan might come again at any time. Okay. Xian Yanqing nodded. Lu Ming held Xian Yanqing's little hand and flew in a random direction. After more than 100,000 miles, Lu Ming found a secret place and the two of them entered the mountain river diagram. Grotto Heaven treasure? Xian Yanqing blinked his big eyes. Okay, little Qing, heal your injuries first. Lu Ming said with concern. Xian Yanqing's shoulder was stabbed just now, and the injury was not light. Xian Yanqing nodded, sat cross-legged, and began to heal his injuries. After half a day, Xian Yanqing's injuries were completely healed. On a mountain peak in the mountain river diagram, the two of them sat side by side. Xian Yanqing's head leaned on Lu Ming's shoulder, and the two of them talked about their experiences during this period of time. The two of them had not seen each other for more than 3 years, and there was too much to talk about. Lu Ming talked about his experiences in the past few years, and Xian Yanqing's heart was in turmoil. Every time he heard that Lu Ming was in danger, Xian Yanqing would exclaim softly, worried about Lu Ming. Chapter 1146. When Lu Ming talked about how he came to the Holy City to participate in the competition of the younger generation and how he came to the 9 underworlds demon realm, Xian Yanqing's eyes flashed with a hint of coldness. He said, "Lu Ming, you have been deceived by them. 10,000 points, just like me, is very difficult to achieve." Then, he looked at Lu Ming affectionately and said, "Lu Ming, why are you so stupid? It's all because of me that you have to come here. Idiot, if I don't come to find you personally, how can I be at ease? By the way, when you came back from the 9 Dragon City, did you come here?" Lu Ming asked. "Yes." Xian Yanqing nodded and said, "When I came back, Xie Qitian asked people to send me to the 9 underworlds demon realm. Unfortunately, although they know that my bloodline is inclined to the dark side, they don't know that my bloodline is the heavenly demon bloodline. In the 9 underworlds demon realm, I am like a fish in water. My cultivation speed is faster than the outside world. Moreover, I have awakened the 3rd bloodline. With the use of demon chi and demon stones, my cultivation speed is even faster." Speaking of this, Xian Yanqing's voice became cold, as if he was full of hatred towards the Xie family. Lu Ming's arm that was holding Xian Yanqing's arm tightened. It could be imagined that in these years, Xian Yanqing had been struggling and cultivating alone in the 9 underworlds demon realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have such a cultivation. Thinking of this, Lu Ming's heart ached. "Lu Ming, you are here. I am so happy." Xian Yanqing's voice whispered in Lu Ming's ear. Lu Ming turned his head slightly and looked at the beautiful face that was close to him. Feeling Xian Yanqing's soft breathing, he felt his heart throbbing. The beautiful face and the smile on his face seemed to be Lu Ming's everything. Lu Ming stretched out his hand and slowly ran his fingertips across the beautiful face, feeling every inch of Xian Yanqing's skin. Lu Ming slightly leaned his head forward and kissed those red lips that could make men go crazy. Those beautiful eyes were still open, looking at him and listening to Lu Ming's breathing. Lu Ming greedily demanded and entwined his fingers around Xian Yanqing's neck, Xian Yanqing's clothes, and waist. His hand slowly entered Xian Yanqing's body, feeling every inch of warmth. Xian Yanqing's body started to tremble slightly, then he let Lu Ming do whatever he wanted. Lu Ming hugged Xian Yanqing and slowly lay down on the bluestone on the mountain peak. His fingers moved gently, following the warm skin and touching the girl's skin. Lu Ming seemed to be savoring it carefully. The speed at which he moved his fingers was very slow, as if he wanted to use his touch to melt Xian Yanqing's body. Sliding his fingers across the smooth skin, Lu Ming's hand seemed to touch the soft curves. Following the curves, his hand climbed up. The towering curves were so smooth, and the skin there was so soft and full of elasticity, as if it could be crushed with a casual pinch. However, when Lu Ming climbed to the peak, his hand still couldn't help but clench. The soft and elastic part that was slightly deformed from the squeezing stimulated every cell in Lu Ming's body. It made his blood seem to boil, and his breathing became heavy. "Ah!" A soft sound like the sound of nature came out of Xian Yanqing's mouth, stimulating Lu Ming's blood even more, making his mouth suck even more greedily. Xian Yanqing's soft and beautiful eyes finally couldn't hold back their shyness and slowly closed, allowing Lu Ming to fiddle with them, quietly enjoying the blended love of water and milk. Spicy eyes, really spicy eyes. After an unknown period of time, a sudden shout interrupted the two of them. The two of them opened their eyes at the same time and saw Dandan not far away, staring at the two of them with his eyes wide open. Xian Yanqing's face immediately turned red. Even his ears and neck were red. Continue. Don't worry about me. Dandan said leisurely when he saw the two of them looking at him. Scram! Lu Ming slapped out, and a palm print condensed from true energy blasted towards Dandan. Dandan was sent flying by Lu Ming's slap like a stone. Ah! Lu Ming, you're valuing your lover over your friends. No, you're looking down on your seniors. Dandan's voice came from afar. In the end, he turned into a black dot and disappeared in the air, flying far away. After the commotion caused by Dandan, the boiling blood of the two of them calmed down. You, pervert, Xian Yinqing tidied up her messy clothes and said with a red face. Lu Ming chuckled and held Xian Yinqing's hand. He said, Shao Qing, why did the demon temple clan besiege you? Because of a demon statue. Xian Yinqing said. Then, a demon statue appeared in her hand. The demon statue was small, only the size of a fist. However, it emitted a terrifying demon intent. This demon intent was domineering, as if it wanted to destroy the heavens and dominate the world. What a strong demon intent! Lu Ming was secretly shocked. It was just a piece of the demon statue and it was already so terrifying. This demon statue was definitely a precious treasure to those who practiced diabolism or the Masha clan. It was no wonder that so many powerful figures from the Masha clan had besieged Xian Yinqing. I got this demon statue from the demon Steel Mountain. Xian Yinqing said. Then, she kept the demon statue and the surrounding pressure disappeared. Shao Qing, did you really enter the demon Steel Mountain? I heard that it's extremely dangerous there. Those who entered all died. Although Lu Ming knew that Xian Yinqing was fine, he couldn't help but worry. I heard that the demon Steel Mountain is indeed very dangerous. Many demon temple clan and human cultivators died there. However, I don't know why, but when I get close to the demon Steel Mountain, I feel a strong throbbing in my heart. It's as if something on the demon Steel Mountain is attracting me. That's why I took the risk and entered the demon Steel Mountain. However, the strange thing is that I didn't encounter any danger when I entered the demon Steel Mountain. Instead, I obtained an opportunity and broke through in my cultivation. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to bring out this demon statue from the demon Steel Mountain. Xian Yinqing said. You have this feeling too? What is it that's attracting you? Lu Ming was bewildered. Xian Yinqing looked at Lu Ming in astonishment and asked, could it be that you have it too? That's right. When I got close to the demon Steel Mountain, my second bloodline became hot and restless. It's as if something is attracting it. If I didn't control it, it would have appeared on its own. Lu Ming frowned slightly. He felt that this matter was inconceivable. Shao Qing, what's in the demon Steel Mountain? I don't know. I only walked around the periphery and didn't go deep. The demon Steel Mountain was covered in fog and I couldn't see clearly. I originally planned to study this demon statue before entering the demon Steel Mountain. Xian Yinqing said. Then, the two of them discussed for a while but still couldn't come to a conclusion. In the end, they decided to explore the demon Steel Mountain. This was because Xian Yinqing had entered the demon Steel Mountain without any danger. The two of them chatted for a while more before walking out of the mountain river diagram and looking at the demon Steel Mountain in the distance. Chapter 1147. The two of them concealed their auras and approached the Devil Steel Mountain. Along the way, they felt the aura of the Devil clan and went around them. The two of them were getting closer and closer to the Devil Steel Mountain. The closer they got, the more the suppressing Hell Steel bloodline in Lu Ming's body throbbed. Soon, the two of them were 100 miles away from the Devil Steel Mountain. There was already a faint black mist here. The two of them did not retreat and continued forward. 100 miles passed in the blink of an eye and they entered the Devil Steel Mountain. M.O., M.O., M.O. Suddenly, a loud roar sounded in Lu Ming's mind. This voice was filled with a sense of lawlessness, but it also revealed a sense of helplessness and unwillingness. The black mist filled the area. With their cultivation, they could not see more than 20 meters around them. Moreover, there was a terrifying pressure on their bodies that made it difficult for them to fly. They could only land and walk forward. Little Qing, be careful. Lu Ming held Xian Yinqing's hand and walked forward carefully. Buzz. Lu Ming's spine was filled with blood-red light. The suppressing hell steel bloodline was throbbing more and more intensely. Lu Ming controlled the suppressing hell steel bloodline to prevent it from manifesting. The two of them walked for half a day and felt that they were already halfway up the mountain. They were getting closer and closer to the peak. The throbbing feeling came from the peak. Xian Yinqing also felt a strong attraction to this place, which caused her bloodline to throb. There are so many skeletons. Suddenly, Lu Ming saw many skeletons on the ground. The skeletons were not big and they were obviously the skeletons of the Devil Clan. It was said that many members of the Devil Clan had died here. It seemed to be true. Moreover, the skeletons all had storage rings on their fingers. Xian Yinqing grabbed at the air and a storage ring appeared in her hand. In the next moment, Xian Yinqing took out a pile of black stones from the storage ring. The stones were filled with dense demonic qi. This is a devil stone. It's very useful to those who practice the devil Dao. To me, it's even more useful than origin stones. Xian Yinqing explained. There are quite a few storage rings here. Perhaps they all have magic stones. Take them. When we leave this place in the future, they will be of great use to you. Lu Ming said. He reached out and sucked in the rings of holding and handed them over to Xian Yinqing. Xian Yinqing cultivated the demonic Dao. These demon stones were most suitable for Xian Yinqing. Xian Yinqing took them and put them away. Then, the two of them searched around and found many skeletons of the Wuxia clan. Of course, there were also skeletons of humans, but there were very few of them. Demon. Devil. Demon. At this point, the sound became louder and louder. This sound directly affected one's mind and did not enter one's ears. It was as if there was a peerless demon emperor shouting and roaring from above. The two of them continued to move forward. Along the way, they kept the storage rings of the skeletons of the Wuxia clan. Along the way, they collected more than 100 storage rings and a large number of magic stones. Putting everything else aside, the storage rings alone were worth a lot of money. After another half a day, the two of them finally arrived at the top of the mountain. Along the way, the two of them did not encounter any danger. This made the two of them secretly amazed. The Devil Steel Mountain was very dangerous. Those who entered would die. This could be seen from the skeletons of the Wuxia clan and the human skeletons that they saw along the way. However, their journey was calm and tranquil. Apart from the Wuxia clan's cries, there was no other sound. Buzz. When they arrived at the top of the mountain, Lu Ming's spine was filled with blood-red light. The prison-suppressing steel's bloodline was beating wildly. Even Lu Ming could not suppress it. With a loud rumble, the prison-suppressing steel's bloodline appeared and expanded rapidly. Buzz. At the top of the mountain in front of them, a terrifying rumble could be heard. Then, they saw the black fog rolling and separating into two sides. The scenery in front of them was completely exposed. Seeing the scene in front of them, their hearts trembled violently. They were dumbfounded. There was also a stele in front of them. A stone stele. This stone stele was incomparably huge. It stood tall like a majestic mountain. There was only one big word on the stone stele, steel. There was only one word at the top of the stone stele. It was uneven, as if it was not a complete stone stele. It seemed to be only a part of a stone stele. The stone steel was filled with an ancient aura. Its color looked very similar to Lu Ming's prison-suppressing steel's bloodline. Buzz! Lu Ming's prison-suppressing steel flew out and stopped in front of the stone steel. The two of them vibrated continuously and emitted a bright light as if they were responding to each other. Lu Ming, why do I feel that your bloodline and this stone steel are so similar? It's as if they are one. Xian Yinqing was extremely surprised. Lu Ming was also extremely shocked. This was because he felt that the stone steel gave him a very familiar feeling. He knew that the throbbing from before had originated from this stone steel. The two stone steels shook violently as blinding light filled the air. The experts of the Devil Temple clan who were entrenched in the surroundings of the Devil Steel Mountain also noticed it. The Devil Steel Mountain is acting strangely. Could it be that a peerless treasure has appeared? Dazzling light. A peerless treasure has appeared. Let's go and take a look. Numerous figures gathered towards the Devil Steel Mountain, each of them exuding boundless devil aura. They were all experts of the Devil Temple clan. The weakest of them was at the 5th level of the Spirit God realm, and there were even 7th level Spirit God realm experts. A group of Demon Sha clan members appeared 100 miles away from the Devil Steel Mountain. At this moment, the black mist on the Devil Steel Mountain had become very thin. They could clearly see the huge stone steel emitting a bright light. However, the Demon Sha clan members stopped there and did not dare to go any closer. The Devil Steel Mountain's ferocious reputation was not just for show. Those who entered would die. However, looking at the shining stone steel, the Demon Sha clan members could not help themselves. Now that the Devil Steel Mountain has changed, it might not be dangerous. That's right. I saw that human girl go in and bring out a devil statue. She's fine. It's time for the Devil Steel Mountain to appear. Shriveled voices sounded one after another. The eyes of the Demon Sha clan members were burning with passion. Charge! A group of Demon Sha clan members could not help but roar as they charged towards the Devil Steel Mountain. When they charged into the range of the Devil Steel Mountain, a voice sounded in their minds, Demon! 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 The demonic sound was filled with a terrifying destructive power. Some 5th-level spiritual god and 6th-level spiritual god realm Demon Sha clan members screamed as their bodies fell from the sky like dumplings in a pot. They fell to the ground without any signs of life. They were dead. At least 20 Demon Sha clan members had died in an instant. A few 7th-level spiritual god realm Demon Sha clan members roared as they retreated frantically with blood flowing out of their 7 orifices. It can destroy souls. A 7th-level spiritual god realm Demon Sha clan member roared as he retreated a few hundred miles. Chapter 1148. On the top of the demonic steel mountain, Lu Ming's suppressing prison steel bloodline resonated with the huge steel. At this moment, the tremors were getting more and more intense. Buzz! The huge steel let out a buzzing sound, and the entire mountain shook along with it. Huge rocks on the ground exploded as the steel slowly rose up. The steel rose up as if it wanted to follow the suppressing prison steel bloodline out of the mountain. Slowly, the steel rose up inch by inch. It seemed like a section of the steel was embedded into the mountain. Boom! Suddenly, a terrifying aura erupted from under the steel. This aura was extremely domineering, as if it could dominate the world. At the same time, a monstrous demonic aura spread out, as if a supreme demon was about to be born. Amidst the monstrous demonic aura, Lu Ming and Xian Yinqing could vaguely see a tall figure under the steel. This person was a middle-aged man with a burly figure. His black hair draped over his shoulders, and his demonic aura was overwhelming. He looked like a demon god. The aura of a sovereign. This is a sovereign, a demon sovereign. Lu Ming's heart trembled. He could feel the majestic aura of a sovereign from this figure. This was the unique aura of a sovereign. Could it be that this steel is suppressing a sovereign, a demon sovereign? Lu Ming's mind raced, and he thought of many things. Ha ha ha, how many years has it been? I can finally escape. An excited roar came from the demonic figure's mouth, and a terrifying aura rushed out, attacking Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. Lu Ming's five-colored intent surrounded his body, and his true yuan surged. The dragon force burst out to resist this pressure. On the other hand, the heavenly demon bloodline appeared above Xian Yanqing's head, and demonic aura bloomed, blocking this aura. No, I can't let this demon sovereign come out. Otherwise, Shao Qing and I won't be able to withstand a slap from him. Lu Ming's mind turned, and his eyes focused. His mind was completely immersed in the suppressing prison steel bloodline. Come back. Lu Ming roared in his heart. Bloody light spread out from his spine, and he used all his strength to control the suppressing prison steel bloodline. Wang! The prison suppressing steel's bloodline shook violently. Slowly, it was pulled back inch by Lu Ming. Come back. Get back here. Lu Ming kept roaring in his heart. The bloody light seemed to be on the verge of materializing, and his eyes were bloodshot. Whoosh! In the end, the prison-suppressing monument bloodline was pulled back by Lu Ming. It turned into a bloody light and flew into Lu Ming's spine, disappearing without a trace. Boom! The prison-suppressing steel's bloodline was retracted. The light of the huge steel dimmed and fell down again. No! Beneath the stone tablet, a roar of unwillingness could be heard. With a loud boom, the huge stone tablet pressed down heavily, causing the entire mountain to shake violently. The monstrous demon might also disappeared in an instant. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing felt their bodies lighten as they exhaled deeply at the same time. The two of them looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. The two of them did not expect that there would be a demon king suppressed on the Devil Steel Mountain. It was no wonder that the Devil Temple clan members had died. It must be the demon king's doing. Lu Ming, the reason why I felt my bloodline throbbing and the strong attraction force is most likely because of the demon king. Xian Yanqing said in a low voice. That should be the case. Lu Ming nodded. Xian Yanqing felt it because of the demon king, while he felt it because of the huge stone tablet. It was a broken stone tablet. What is this stone tablet? Why is it resonating with the prison-suppressing steel's bloodline? Lu Ming had many questions in his heart. Lad, quickly use your bloodline and let me out. At this moment, a deep voice came from beneath the prison-suppressing steel. It was the Demon King. Senior, you are the Demon King, and the two of us are only low-level spiritual gods. If we let you out and you kill us with a single slap, wouldn't we be wronged? Lu Ming pondered for a moment before he spoke. Since you know that I am the Demon King, why would I do such a thing? Since you saved me, you are my benefactor, and I will definitely repay you generously. The Demon King continued to speak from beneath the stone tablet. Even so, I still don't trust you. Lu Ming spoke bluntly. Lu Ming didn't dare to be careless when facing a monarch realm expert. Otherwise, he would be killed with a single slap, and that would be an injustice. There was silence beneath the stone tablet, and it seemed like the Demon King was thinking about what to say. After a short while, the voice sounded again, Lad, your bloodline should be the prison-suppressing steel's bloodline, right? I never expected that there would actually be someone who could awaken such a bloodline in the world. Lu Ming's eyes flashed, but he didn't speak. Lad, let me tell you something. This stone tablet before you is the real hell-suppressing steel, and it's the main body of your bloodline. The Demon King's voice shook Lu Ming's heart. What? This damaged stone tablet is the real hell-suppressing steel? Lu Ming's eyes suddenly opened wide while tempestuous waves arose in his heart, and he gazed at the enormous stone tablet with disbelief. Otherwise, why do you think your bloodline can resonate with this stone tablet? It's because they are one. The Demon King continued. Lu Ming and Xie Nianqing were extremely astounded. According to legend, all bloodlines awakened by cultivators were traceable in the world, and they really existed. Some might have gone extinct during the primeval times and the ancient times, and some might even be found in the modern era. Lu Ming had thought that the hell-suppressing steel was an ancient artifact from the distant past, and he never expected that he would see its true form in the world. This made it difficult for him to calm down. According to legend, the hell-suppressing steel was a supreme divine artifact in the distant past. Later on, there was a great war and it was shattered into several pieces. The stone tablet before you is a fragment of the hell-suppressing steel. The hell-suppressing steel suppresses all things in the world. If not for this steel, how could it have suppressed this emperor? The Demon King explained to Lu Ming, his voice brimming with unparalleled confidence. Thus, as long as you control your bloodline, you can take away this hell-suppressing steel. If your bloodline can fuse with the real hell-suppressing steel, you will obtain enormous benefits, and you will also obtain a supreme divine artifact. If you can gather all the other fragments of the hell-suppressing steel in the future, you can use this treasure to dominate the world. The Demon King continued, his words full of temptation. Lu Ming was truly tempted, and his eyes burned with passion. In the end, a bloodline was only a bloodline. It could be called an illusion, possessing part of the power of a real object. It could also be called a kind of inheritance. For example, a cultivator with a true dragon bloodline could comprehend a true dragon battle skill and borrow part of the true dragon's power. The stronger they were, the more power they could display. But in the end, it was not the real body, and it could not be as powerful as the real body. But with the help of the real body, it was a different story. Lu Ming had never imagined that he would encounter the true form of the hell-suppressing steel's bloodline. Now that he had encountered it, he truly did not want to miss it. Lu Ming furrowed his brows tightly. Various thoughts were running through his mind. Should he let it go or not? Chapter 1150. Seeing that Lu Ming seemed to be tempted, the Fiend Emperor continued, "Furthermore, this girl's bloodline is extremely similar to mine. If I were to come out, I can pass on all my skills to her. Given her talent, it will be easy for her to become a king in the future. She might even surpass me in the future." The Demon Emperor continued to throw out temptations that were hard to resist. The mantle of a demon emperor was definitely a great temptation. "Lu Ming, it's all up to you." Xie Nianqing grabbed Lu Ming's hand and said. "Shao Qing, I've finally found you. How could I bring you along with me? I don't care about these worldly possessions." Lu Ming grabbed Xie Nianqing's hand and was about to leave. "Come back, what are you doing? Don't you trust me? Am I, Xiaofan, the kind of person who goes back on his words?" Seeing that Lu Ming and Xie Nianqing were about to leave, the Fiend Emperor panicked and shouted continuously. As soon as he said that, Lu Ming and Xie Nianqing's bodies shook violently at the same time. There was a look of disbelief in their eyes. "Xiaofan? The Emperor of Chaotic Sky, Xiaofan? How was this possible?" The two turned around and glanced at the giant boulder. "You're Xiaofan?" Xie Nianqing's eyes were filled with disbelief. Xiaofan was a peerless figure of the imperial Xia clan 30,000 years ago. He was also the taboo of the imperial Xia clan. He had single-handedly changed the situation of the Middle Continent, from the ancient sacred dynasty to the current state of affairs. It was all because of Xiaofan. He had a mutated bloodline of the Xia clan, just like Xie Nianqing. However, how was it possible that someone from 30,000 years ago was still alive? "That's right, I'm Xiaofan, the Emperor of Chaotic Sky, Xiaofan." Girl, your bloodline is very similar to mine. You must have a mutated bloodline of the Xia clan, right? Hee hee. The demon emperor let out a meaningful laugh. Impossible, as far as I know, a dominator can only live for 10 to 20,000 years. If you're Xiaofan, how could you still be alive? Lu Ming shouted. Just now, when the stone steel floated up, he had clearly sensed the aura of life, and not a wisp of imprint, which meant that Xiaofan was still alive. How could an emperor live for 30,000 years? This is all thanks to the prison-suppressing steel. It's suppressing my body and slowing down the flow of my life force by several times. 30,000 years is equivalent to 10,000 years for me. If I were to be suppressed for another 30,000 years, I would really be gone. The demon emperor explained with a sigh. But Lu Ming's eyes were still flickering. Lu Ming, what this person said must be true. I can sense that this person is of the same bloodline as me. Our bloodlines are very similar. Xian Yanqing whispered to Lu Ming. Was the other party really Xiaofan? The two of them still found it hard to calm down. It was said that when Xiaofan rebelled, he fought a great battle with the royal family. The battle caused the heavens to collapse and the earth to rend. Xiaofan killed countless experts from the royal family. In the end, Xiaofan was still defeated and killed by the royal family's experts. Could it be that Xiaofan was not dead, but was suppressed here? Hee hee, no one in the royal family could kill me. They could only use the prison-suppressing steel to suppress me here, hoping that time would wear me down. But they did not expect that although the prison-suppressing steel suppressed me, it also slowed down the flow of my life force by several times. Kid, you and this girl from the Xia family must have been exiled here by the Xia family of the royal family. I can imagine that after what happened to me, the Xia family of the royal family must be 10 times more cautious of those with foreign bloodlines. I find it strange that they did not kill you directly. The demon emperor continued. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing remained silent. Do you want to be exiled to the demon realm for the rest of your life? As long as you let me out, I can take you and break out of the 9 underworlds. Don't worry, I, Xiaofan, am a man of my word. I will repay kindness with kindness and revenge with revenge. The demon emperor continued. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were very tempted by his words. It was even more tempting than obtaining the prison-suppressing steel or the demon emperor's inheritance. The biggest problem they were facing now was how to get out. Obviously, Xia Qitian wanted to exile them here and trap them in the demon realm for the rest of their lives. But Lu Ming still had many things to do. De was besieging the Yin and Yang mountain. His family and friends were all there. He had to get out. Okay, I'll let you out. In the end, Lu Ming decided to take a gamble. This was the only chance now. Okay, you just need to control the prison-suppressing steel bloodline and put it away. That's all. The demon emperor said. Buzz. Lu Ming did not hesitate. With a thought, the prison-suppressing steel bloodline appeared. As soon as the prison-suppressing steel bloodline appeared, it had a strong reaction with the huge steel. It grew rapidly, vibrated, and emitted a bright light. Put it away. Lu Ming shouted. He controlled the prison-suppressing steel bloodline to put the huge steel away. Buzz. 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 The huge steel kept vibrating. The word steel on it was shining. It resonated with the word steel on the prison-suppressing steel bloodline. It was almost identical. Whether it was the strokes or the aura, it was the same. Lu Ming was sure that this was the real body of the prison-suppressing steel. It was a fragment of the prison-suppressing steel. The fragment of the prison-suppressing steel slowly floated up and rose into the air. Below, the demonic qi filled the sky. The burly figure appeared again. Vast demonic qi spread between heaven and earth. Put it away! Lu Ming shouted. The fragment of the prison-suppressing steel vibrated and flew up into the sky with a boom. But below, the demonic shadow flew up with the prison-suppressing steel and disappeared into it. A huge demonic shadow was trapped in the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel. What's going on? Lu Ming was a little surprised. Sigh, I've been suppressed by the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel for too long. My demonic body is almost destroyed and my demonic chi is almost exhausted. My demonic chi and the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel have almost merged into one. Even if the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel leaves the ground, it's still suppressing me. I can't escape unless my cultivation recovers to the monarch realm. The demonic emperor, Xiaofan, sighed. I see. Then how are you going to help us fight our way out of the abyss? Lu Ming asked. That's simple. You just have to merge the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel with your bloodline and put it into your spine. This fragment of the prison-suppressing steel will be under your initial control. As long as you withdraw the suppressive force, I can escape from the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel. However, you can't be too far away from the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel. Otherwise, you'll still be suppressed by the prison-suppressing steel. Xiaofan explained. Lu Ming nodded. He started to control the prison-suppressing steel bloodline and merged it with the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel. After a while, the prison-suppressing steel bloodline merged with the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel. At this time, the fragment of the prison-suppressing steel shrunk rapidly and merged with the prison-suppressing steel bloodline. One could clearly see that the lower part of the prison-suppressing steel's bloodline was shining brightly as if it was real. It occupied about 1/3 of the area, while the upper 2/3 still looked unreal. This was the real fragment of the prison-suppressing steel, there was no mistake. Withdraw. Chapter 1151. Following this, Lu Ming summoned the prison-suppressing steel bloodline again. If I use the bloodline fusion now and turn into the prison-suppressing steel, its power will be shocking. Lu Ming's heart stirred. He could sense a vast power emanating from the prison-suppressing monument's bloodline. The prison-suppressing steel bloodline's grade didn't increase. It was still at the 7th level of the divine grade, but Lu Ming could feel that its power was shocking. If he used the bloodline fusion, it would be as powerful as a 9th level divine grade bloodline. My cultivation is still too weak. I can't fully unleash the power of the prison-suppressing steel bloodline. As my cultivation increases, I'll be able to unleash even more power. Lu Ming had many thoughts and a smile appeared on his face. This way, the prison-suppressing steel bloodline fusion would become his strongest trump card. I wonder if the prison-suppressing heaven skill will be more powerful? Lu Ming was looking forward to it. He could see that Xiaofan's figure was still at the bottom of the prison-suppressing steel. Lu Ming's consciousness sank into the prison-suppressing steel bloodline and adjusted the suppressing power of the prison-suppressing steel bloodline towards Xiaofan. Wang! The prison-suppressing steel shook and Xiaofan's figure stepped out of the prison-suppressing steel and appeared in the air. Boom! A vast demonic aura burst out and pierced through the clouds. Ha ha ha, I'm finally out. Xiaofan laughed. His long hair was loose and his eyebrows were sharp. One could tell that he was a handsome man when he was young. But now, he seemed to have gone mad. Lu Ming could understand. After being suppressed for 30,000 years, it was already good enough that he didn't go mad. After a while, Xiaofan finally calmed down. He looked at Lu Ming and Xianyanqing and said, "Let's go. I'll bring you out." A surge of demonic energy swept Lu Ming and Xianyanqing. Xiaofan stepped out and appeared outside the demonic steel mountain. Many demonic temple clansmen looked at them in shock. "I happen to have some tonics that can help me recover some of my strength," said Xiaofan coldly. In the next instant, a terrifying demonic chi exploded from Xiaofan's body and enveloped all of the Demon Sha clan. Not good, let's go. Ah, save me. Shrill screams could be heard from the demonic aura. Lu Ming saw many 5th level and 6th level spirit gods of the Masha clan being unable to put up any resistance. They turned into ashes one after another, turning into pure energy that was absorbed by Xiaofan. Xiaofan's body was like a bottomless abyss that constantly absorbed the energy. The Masha clansmen at the 7th level of the spirit god realm were still able to resist for a while, but as Xiaofan took a step forward, they exploded in the air and turned into energy that was absorbed by Xiaofan. Xiaofan's skin kept wriggling, and his aura also became a little stronger. It's a pity that these Demon Temple clan members are too weak. My immortal demon body has only recovered a little. It's still far from my peak. Xiaofan sighed. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were secretly shocked. Xiaofan was indeed the demon emperor that shook the world. He was really terrifying. After being suppressed for 30,000 years, he had just come out and his strength was already very shocking. We can't stay here for long. I'm afraid that the Imperial Xia clan will soon find out. Now, let's kill our way out. Xiaofan's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. He wrapped Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing with his demonic qi and stepped out. His speed was terrifyingly fast as he rushed towards the exit of the demon realm. In just a short moment, they had crossed an unknown distance. The city that was the exit of the demon realm was already in sight. Above the city, there was a light shield that enveloped the entire city. Looking from the sky, there were experts guarding the city. In an instant, Xiaofan appeared above the city with Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing and slapped down with his palm. A terrifying palm print bombarded the light shield. The light shield shook violently and a hole was blasted open. Xiaofan took a step forward and rushed in. Who's there? Shit, a devil has intruded. Numerous loud roars resounded in the city as numerous powerful auras rose up and charged towards Xiaofan. So many experts. Lu Ming was secretly shocked when he sensed the aura. Those auras were extremely powerful, overbearing, and terrifying. Many of them were existences at the 5th or 6th level of the spirit god realm. There were even quite a few existences at the 7th level of the spirit god realm and above. Become my tonics. Xiaofan's eyes were icy cold as he blasted out with his palm. A group of spirit god realm experts were blasted apart and transformed into surging energy that surged into Xiaofan's body. His aura grew stronger and stronger. Shrill cries resounded incessantly as experts were killed one after another. Shit, he's too strong. Those experts turned pale with fright and retreated madly. You're courting death. At this moment, a few terrifying auras rose up from the depths of the city, and a few figures instantly appeared in front of them. They're so strong. They've surpassed the 8th level of the spirit god realm. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. The few people that appeared later were absolutely terrifying. Their auras were so strong that they were at the 8th level of the spirit god realm and above. 2 of their auras were vast and unfathomable. 2 9th level spirit gods and 2 perfection stage spirit gods. Hee hee. Xiaofan sneered as he charged over. Boundless devil chi condensed into a saber that slashed towards them. The other party erupted with powerful combat strength as well, and terrifying attacks rained down towards Xiaofan. The entire city shook and emitted dazzling light as numerous grand formations were activated. If it wasn't for these grand formations, the city would have been blasted apart. Ah! Suddenly, a shrill cry resounded as a 9th level spirit god realm expert's head was chopped off by Xiaofan. After that, his spirit god flew out and was swept by devil chi before being absorbed by Xiaofan. Xiaofan's aura grew even stronger. The expressions of the remaining 3 people changed drastically. They actually didn't dare block Xiaofan's attack and retreated with extreme speed. Xiaofan didn't pursue them and charged towards the exit with Lu Ming and Xiaofan. "Where do you think you're going?" A vast voice resounded as an enormous palm print condensed into form in the sky. It was as large as a mountain and suffused with a profound aura. That aura was much stronger than the concept of heaven and earth. A prime. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. A prime had made a move. A prime was actually considered a perfection stage spirit god, but a prime was already half a step into the martial emperor realm and had some of the power of a martial emperor. His combat strength was much stronger than other perfection stage spirit gods. Xiaofan's face turned solemn as a prime made a move. The devil saber in his hand emitted a terrifying demonic aura. Wan Tian, devil saber. Xiaofan slashed out with his saber, and the sky was split into two halves. The terrifying black saber light slashed onto the enormous palm. Boom! A shocking explosion resounded as the enormous palm was split apart by the devil saber. However, Xiaofan's figure also retreated rapidly. A white-haired old man stepped out in front of him. The aura of a prime was clearly displayed from his body. "What kind of demonic being dares to barge into this place?" The white-haired old man spoke, but he was stunned before he could finish his sentence. His eyes widened as he stared at Xiaofan. His eyes were filled with extreme fear, shock and disbelief. How is this possible? You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.